Hi, you guys. Okay. So, I'm going to wait for a few people to arrive, but by the title, you can tell that we're going to be talking about the dimensions once again, particularly the sixth dimension and how you can kind of get an understanding for what it kind of is through the movie Doctor Strange. You can see Doctor Strange on Netflix right now, I believe. That's where you can find it. So, let's get into it, shall we? I know it's kind of late, so I'm not sure if many people are awake, but I'm going to type into my group really quick on Facebook that I'm live on YouTube, so they can come live on YouTube right now. Okay, I should have just linked this video, but oh well. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the sixth dimension, and if y'all don't know what the sixth dimension is, I'm just going to explain it real quick. It is the level of consciousness where time, space, and all different types of realities are able to exist. Okay, so if you have ever seen the movie Doctor Strange, they use a lot of six um, dimension techniques in this movie, such as the sacred geometry and how they're doing the spells with their hands, and how they are twisting time or slowing down time or things like that. So the sixth dimension is really um, profound in that movie Doctor Strange. And I wanted to talk about that movie because it's so deep, and like a lot of that stuff is what I teach as far as the levels of dimension, the consciousness, the mind, the dark energy, the blah 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 blah. And I feel like it's very very well written. So if you guys want to check that out, y'all should probably already have. But when his hands, would not work because they were smashed in a car accident, and he could not, use his hands anymore. He's a doctor, and he couldn't perform surgery anymore. So he searched high and low to see if they could get fixed. They couldn't get fixed through, the physical or the medical. So he had to go search for the spiritual. Okay. So when he found that, his teacher taught him how to travel through the dimensions, how to astral travel, how to do spells, how to do all this. But he was so smart from being a surgeon anyway. He picked up on it really quick, you know. So he was able to advance really fast. So that movie shows a lot of dimension travel, what different dimensions look like, um, and how you can manipulate them through alchemy, because in the movie they were defending natural law, which is like universal law. They were defending natural law against the darkness, and the teacher, she had to use both in order to maintain 3D Earth, but she didn't tell anybody what she was doing, right? So they figured it out, and she said, well, I have to do it for the greater good. I have to use dark energy for the greater good, and you'll see one day. So basically, the world was getting ready to be destroyed, and Doctor Strange flew up and created a time loop with his sacred geometry sixth dimension device or whatever, and looped time over and over and over until he transmuted the outcome. Okay, or transmuted what was going to happen. So through alchemy, you can change universal law, and also through determination. But that's one thing that you're not supposed to like always try to do unless it's something that you really truly need done. So a lot of people live under universal law, but they don't realize that they can transmute it, and that's why so many people don't know how to get out of situations, create, get things that they really want because they don't know how to transmute things as far as universal law. They just go by universal law. They don't understand that alchemy can transform that. So that's what that movie was kind of symbolizing. So, so if y'all wanted to understand it a little bit more, y'all should go watch it. The funny thing about it is, as a doctor, he already had an inflated ego, so he really believed in himself and picked up knowledge real quick and just really had this I can do it attitude and I'm the best attitude, which you need. And I keep telling you guys, you need this attitude in order to be very successful at manifesting. If you don't have this attitude, if you don't have this way of feeling about yourself, you're not going to be able to be as powerful as the next person who does. So, anyone who's of low confidence, who doesn't have a lot of belief in themselves, who is a doormat, who is not confident or very very, I want to say, adamant about what they do, they're not going to be as powerful as someone who is. So, that's why they kind of chose him to, do what he did, because of his attitude. Of course it had to be adjusted and, balanced out a little bit, but without it, he wouldn't have been able to do what he did. So, I'm saying very important to not forget that. A lot of people get into magic and spiritualism and, oh, you have to dissolve the ego and you have to be one with the universe and nature and, love and light. That's not true, because you're going to get beat down, beat up, and you won't be able to get up, okay? So remember that. You have to be able to have that side as well. There's not just one side to it. So remember that. Don't feel like you have to always please people, because sometimes you have to break the rules to get what you want and to do things, okay? And it's not anything bad. It's just a choice that you make, okay? So don't feel bad about things like that. And the sixth dimension also allows you to see different realities if you choose a choice. Like one of the universal law of cause and effect. Whatever choice you make today, the effect will come. So make sure you choose wisely. So if I was going to make a decision, I would think about, if I make this decision, what will my life look like in 5 years? Okay, so I'm going to close my eyes, and just by me thinking about what my life will look like in 5 years, I am tapping into the sixth dimension of consciousness. Okay, so I'm imagining myself in 6 years or 5 years. I'm in the sixth dimension of consciousness at that time. Now, if I say, okay, well, what if I chose the other choice? Then I'm going to tap back into the sixth dimension and see what those results are if I make this decision. Okay, whichever one I think I want to be in at this point in time, I have to make a decision, because each decision leads to a different time. Okay? And no matter if it comes out precisely, I'm still going to be in that time, in that environment, in that situation. Okay? So you have to make sure that when you make choices, you use the sixth dimension to make the correct choice. Okay? Because a lot of people are using emotion, which is wrong. That's not what you do. If many of you have used or had used the sixth dimension, you would be in a totally different life right now. I have been using the sixth dimension type thinking since I was young. And usually people with plans use the sixth dimension, okay, for making choices. So if you have trouble doing that, get a plan, write a plan out, and stick to it. And that way you will be able to access the sixth dimension easier. Because if you plan out things, you write stuff in the future, you say, oh, I have to do this that day and this that day. You know what I'm saying? you're going to be able to access sixth dimension very easily. So get a planner, okay? Um. Anyway, I came on late because I had a long day. That's why my hair looking crazy. I was out in the rain. Okay, so knowing this, now you have the ability to, create the type of life that you choose, you know. And when you go to the set, like after the sixth dimension and Doctor Strange, like after they did everything and got everything back in order, you know, there are still things that you have to do to keep 3D Earth intact. Like, you cannot get rid of duality. Like, the whole thing about the dark energy dude being evil was really not evil. They were just trying to get rid of duality and death. And if they had gotten rid of that, then 3D Earth could not exist. You could not exist in this consciousness or on this level of material. Okay? So that's why they were, battling. Because when one dimension falls, all dimensions fall. So in order to keep this one intact, they have to maintain universal law up until the 12th dimension. Then at the 12th dimension, you can, use the alchemy and knowledge from the other levels of, the dimensions beneath it to kind of control and create what you want. And that's what he was doing, So, when I see movies like that, it's like, it makes perfect sense to me. I'm like, oh, that's, I was explaining it to Sasha, and she was like sitting there like, yeah. And then, it was very interesting. And that movie is really not my type of movie because I don't really like, I mean, superhero movies are okay. But that was like a metaphysical, esoteric, occult knowledge superhero movie. Okay? So, this is interesting. Okay. So, yeah, and this is what we're kind of touching on in the dark energy spiritual group um, that I started. Now, it's not really a class, it's just a study group. And hopefully, I'm going to be adding some more people that are on the same level of, you know, knowledge that I am so that they can also, post things and stuff like that as well. And it just won't be me. So, yes, very excited about that group. I've already gone live in there once, which was what, last night. Yeah. So, anyway, so just so you guys know, that group is not about magic or spell work. So if that's what, it's just about the knowledge of alchemy, dimensions, dark energy, and stuff like that. Because that's what we need to focus on before, so we can understand how to do everything else after that, including spell work. A lot of people do it backwards and they start doing spell work first, and that's why they have to ask 1,000 questions because they don't know the knowledge behind it. So they're very unsure about what they're doing, and so that's part of the reason I say learn first. But as just like in Doctor Strange, before he could start doing anything, they made him read all those books in the library, blah 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 blah. And that's exactly the order you're supposed to go in, because if you can't do anything if you don't know anything. You can copy it, you can follow a recipe, but you're not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Um, you're not going to be able to find the group on Facebook. You're going to have to message me or write me because it is secret. So you won't be able to find it unless you're already in it. Okay. So, yes. Also, people who operate a lot in the sixth dimension, they're not as concerned about time as other people because they've already, they have their schedule out. They know exactly what they can do when they can do it. They don't rush things. They set things in their own time. They don't let people determine what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, how fast they're going to do it. They're very laid back, and they're like, I will get to you when I get to you, or when the time comes. That's it. They don't let time run them. You know what I mean? They run the time. So it's usually a lot of people who are in charge of their own day or in charge of their own life. That a lot of people who don't work for other people, or people that work from their own schedule. So by doing this, you're already also touching in the sixth dimension. Okay? If you're a slave to time, you're a prisoner. If you're a prisoner of time or a slave to time, you're not accessing the sixth dimension. So work on that. It is a frequency. It's like if anyone has ever been in a car accident, or when things happen so quickly, everything seemed like it was in slow motion. You were witnessing that time as an illusion, and that you can slow it down or speed it up, depending like on your level of consciousness. So a lot of people have seen it like that. And also, like when you dream or in the astral realm, you might have felt like you've been asleep for 10 minutes and you woke up and you've been asleep for 8 hours. So, that's the difference. And time is different, doesn't exist outside of certain dimensions. So, but there are infinite possibilities and infinite versions of yourself as well. Sometimes you might have deja vu or feel like you've been there before, or, thinking about making a decision and do like I said, well, where am I going to be if I make this decision? Should I do this or not? One version of yourself did it and ended up in the spot where you probably didn't want to be. So you chose to be in this position in the spot where you do want to be, because you picked up on the negative energy and the frequency of that choice that was already made by you in the sixth dimension as an alternative you. So you say, I'm going over here. So that's just how it is. It's very infinite, basically. It's just like so many possibilities. So when you work, when you time things out, when you go by your own schedule and you can create that, plan out your day and don't rush through anything. Don't let anyone pressure you. For times, make sure your day is easy and you're not rushing to anything. Wake up a little bit earlier. You don't want to be a slave to time, because you'll never reach the sixth dimension if you're a slave to time. Okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot about astral projection on the movie Doctor Strange as well. So you should watch that. Very good. I know someone just told me in my inbox, and I saw it also online. I mean, on TV. There's some show called Dark Matter. These people wake up in a spaceship with no memory, and then they got to come back to Earth and figure out what's going on or whatever. But I haven't really watched it because, there's certain types of shows that I like, and if it's not something that I like, I won't watch it, even if the subject matter is good. If it's just not my cup of tea, I won't watch it. Like, I don't like war movies or stuff like that. Hmm. Okay. Oh yeah, go. Someone says go rewatch. Go rewatch Doctor Strange, and think about dimensions, dark energy, and all the stuff I'm talking about on this channel, and you'll be like, wow, you know. But that's just, that's occult knowledge. That's everywhere, in the occult knowledge. That's not something new. I mean, that's something really old. but it's just not well discussed, and it's not discussed out in the open because people are going to think you're crazy. So, oh, I traveled to the sixth dimension yesterday. Oh yeah, that was cool. I did a spell and I stopped and I transmuted what was going to happen, and they're just going to say you're crazy. I'm going to lock you up. So, and then your friends are going to be like, so you can't really just talk about stuff like that. That's why we got this group. Because a lot of people, they don't feel free to discuss things with normal people because they don't understand. They won't understand. And they'll just think you're crazy or on drugs. So, when you're talking to people, you got they're not even supposed to know that you know that stuff. You're just supposed to say, "Oh, really?" They're sitting up here trying to tell you about something they learned. I learned about a quartz crystal the other day. Wow, that's awesome. So you're over here manifesting with dark energy and traveling to the sixth dimension, but okay. So, and when I say traveling to the sixth dimension, it doesn't necessarily mean closing your eyes and projecting your astral body to the sixth dimension. It means going there in your consciousness, you know, accessing it in your consciousness. You know, how you can access memories and access things that you memorized and access feelings and access things like that. It's the same thing. It's just a level of consciousness. So, and if you close your eyes and do it in the dark, yes, you see those things, basically. I always do experiments with Sasha, and I tell her, close your eyes and tell me what you see. And we'll start seeing the exact same thing, you know. She'll tell me what she sees first, or I'll ask her, what do you see? And she'll tell me exactly what I'm seeing, at the same exact time. And I'm like, wow, so this is the real process, you know. So it's very, I know they do lots of studies on these things. They just are not sharing them openly, with everybody. But try it, Take two people, go in a dark room, both of you guys close your eyes, and at one ask the other one what they see. And hopefully you're seeing the same thing at the same time. But it also might be because we're related. But who knows? Mhm. Mhm. So, yeah, I think a lot of people are looking into this. This is subject matter, dimensions, and dark energy. It's becoming really popular now. Now that, um, people are actually studying it and not afraid of it anymore. And it's not so weird or taboo. And it's coming out now. And I think by embracing it and learning it and applying it, you're going to see a lot of people's lives improve for the better. A lot of people come out of bad situations. A lot of people make amazing transformations in their lives because that's what it's for, to create exactly what you want. And once you're able to do that, you're going to want to tell other people about it that are having similar problems so that they can get themselves out of it. You know, a lot of people complain, oh, when people get wealthy, or when celebrities get wealthy, oh, they don't give anything back. They try to give the knowledge back, but people aren't, hungry people can't receive knowledge. Poor people can't receive knowledge because they're too busy surviving. So that's why now they're starting to teach how to get money, because in order to be comfortable, in order to free up your time so you can get to the sixth dimension, you need money. You need freedom. You cannot be a slave to money or survival if you want to broaden your consciousness. So that's why I teach prosperity a lot. A lot of people think, oh, you're not supposed to be, about money when you're spiritual. If you want to be free, yes, you do. If you want to be free to practice your spirituality, to get to the next level of consciousness, you can't be tied down at a 9 to 5 all day long. You can't be tied up doing things for everybody else except for yourself. You'll never get there. So this is why I try to teach you guys Make better decisions, less emotional decisions, go for prosperity, because it's going to free you and your time up. And you'll be able to get to higher levels of consciousness, study longer, understand, read, experiment, doing, manifesting with dark energy, blah, 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 blah. But you can't do that if you can only have 30 minutes or 5 minutes, or, you can't just sit and contemplate on the couch because you got to get up and go do something. So that's why a lot of those old school alchemists and, back in the old days, they got funds from the church, whoever would sponsor them, and they would just sit around and ponder ideas. They didn't work. You ever heard of all those people that had jobs? People sponsored them. Rich people or the church or the government sponsored them. Just like they do scientists. They give them grants. So they can do their work. Now, if you're trying to become an alchemist, the great work is yourself. You can't do that if you're already working somewhere else or super busy. So that's why I teach abundance and get it so you can free yourself. So you don't have to work, so you can start your own business, so you can create your own schedule, so you can access the sixth dimension because you're not a slave to time anymore. You know, like you guys know that I can come on live anytime I want. I can schedule readings or consultations whenever I want. It's my choice, you know. So I feel like when you're able to do something like that, your consciousness automatically is able to expand because you have the freedom and the time. And this is why we have to be able to get free, you know. And how to get free is going to be through your creativity. It's not going to be through some school you went to because somebody said it makes good money, unless your focus is something else, and the job is just a job, and you're saving so that because you have a goal. Other than that, no one gets rich by working every day. Nobody. So you have to understand that. You will work 9 to 5 until it's time for you to retire or you die, but you will probably never get rich. The only people that truly get rich create avenues of income. They create it, you know, and it's not through working for other people. So that's why I wanted to do the dark energy group, because it's going to teach you how to create the type of life that you want through universal law, through alchemy, through understanding these dimensions, okay? So remember, just like you have to do work spiritually, you have to do physical work as well, not like manual labor, but earth work, 3D work. So if you don't want to work your 9 to 5, you need to figure out how you don't have to. You need to sit there and you need to work your 9 to 5, start something on the side until whatever that you're doing on the side can start paying for everything else and you don't have to work, you know. So, write me in my messenger on Facebook or my email. I'll try to link it below, but if you go to my channel page, I have my Facebook icon on the channel art. You can just click it and write me in the messenger. And that's just like me, you know. When I did work for people, I was late all the time. I was like, I just came when I felt like it. Why? Because I know I wasn't meant to work, you know. I was on time for the most part when I had, like, when it was, you know, because most of the jobs that I did, you didn't really have to be there on the dot for some reason. You didn't have to be there on the dot. So I kind of linger in after a couple of minutes. But, you know, they don't mind keeping you late. So they shouldn't mind you straggling in late, right? They don't mind keeping you late, so they shouldn't mind you straggling in late, right? That's my philosophy. They didn't like it, though. Um, I was bad, y'all. I was like, because, I mean, if I liked them, I would respect them, and come on time. But when I didn't like, when the circumstance changed, then I changed. I'm like, I'm not gonna be on time for you. I did it just to make people upset, just to spite them. um, y'all, I worked for this place, this funeral home that was so behind on the times. I was like, oh my god, wow. They were so behind on the times. Okay, they did not know how to scan or email or nothing. I'm like, what the heck? They would make me drive all the way downtown to the newspaper, hand them a picture of the person for the obituary, and then the typed out paper. Park, walk all the way up to pay a meter, come all the way back, waste gas. I'm like, you can just email this. Well, we don't do it that way. I said it would save you a lot of time and money. We don't care about that. I'm like, okay. And then like 10 years later, I was at someone's funeral and I saw her, my old funeral director boss, still there doing the same thing. You know, I'd already passed her up. Sometimes you should listen to people, even if they're younger than you. Don't mean that just because you're old doesn't make you wise or smart. Just make you old. Okay. Mhm. So yes, if y'all are just tuning in, I was talking about the sixth dimension and Doctor Strange, and how um, in the sixth dimension there's time travel, control of time, and also manipulation of time. And so the movie Doctor Strange shows a lot of astral travel. It talks a lot about the different dimensions, alchemy, spell work, blah, 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 blah. And if you are not really into superhero movies, it's not like a superhero movie at all. It's more like an occult, esoteric, matrix type movie. You like it. Um, so basically, if you're able to access sixth dimension, you're able to control your own time. You're able to slow down time. You are not a slave to time, and you also know how to transmute universal law to create what you want as well. Um, you're also able to make better decisions. So by accessing the sixth dimension, it's also kind of like when you make a decision. I've already said this, but I'm saying this for the new people. Make a decision. You look at the choice and say, if I make this choice, where will I be in 5 years from now? Visualize where you're going to be in 5 years. You don't like it, don't choose that choice. Select another choice. Also do the same thing. Where am I going to be in 5 years? Close your eyes, visualize that outcome. If you like it, make that choice. Okay? Because both choices exist. Both realities exist. More than there's so many different realities that exist that we are already in. Good choices, bad choices, weird choices, any choice, no choice, didn't make a decision. All those realities exist. So in order to not end up in a bad one, don't base your decision making on emotion. Base it on your ability to access the sixth dimension by visualizing yourself in the future. Okay? A lot of people mess up here. This is like the worst thing that people do. They mess up because they make decisions on emotion, not they don't access the sixth dimension, and they just they base it on how they feel right now instead of what they want to be feeling in the future. Think about that. Why would you base a decision on how you feel right now when you should base it on how you want to feel in the future? It's almost like you have a choice to get what you want, but you're so focused on how you feel that you're not thinking about how you want to feel. in the future. So that's why you have to stop, calm yourself down, dry your tears, take a deep breath, shut up, close your eyes, access the sixth dimension, and see if I do A, B, C, and D, where will I end up? Okay, if you behind some bars, don't do it. You're in prison, stop. Okay? Stop what you're doing right now. Close your eyes. Imagine if you calm down, thought strategically, used your brain, made a better decision, where would you be? If it's not behind bars, pick that one. Okay? Because a lot of y'all just react on emotion, and that's super 2D. You're not even thinking on 3D because you don't care where your physical body ends up, whether it's behind bars or not. So you're regressing in consciousness rather than progressing. Mhm. Mhm. When we are in the sixth dimension, we are one with our God self. Guys, the veil has been lifting. A lot of people are ascending. This is. I'm reading it like a robot. Sorry, because that's how they read it on a lot of videos. Yeah. See, Charles Manson used to do it in prison. He figured it out too late though, but he was smart though. Charles Manson was smart. Like he didn't actually murder anybody. He just suggested. Power of suggestion, very strong. He was an alchemist. He used his alchemy in the wrong way, but he had a good intention. But when he visualized with his future, it didn't work out that way because what he was y'all don't know what he was trying to do. A lot of people don't know what Charles Manson was trying to do. Charles Manson was trying to start a race war. It was kind of racist in a way, but he thought he was going to be the savior. He thought he was going to be like the next Jesus. He was delusional, but he had a good plan. It just didn't happen. It was like, what? Um, I think he was on too many drugs, but it didn't work out for him, and nobody started the race war, and so that's why they just called him, a Satanist and evil because that was his cover up. You know, um, what they did was like an act. It wasn't real. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, go kill these people to start a race war and make it look like Satanists did it. They weren't really that. They were just trying to cover their tracks. So that's what they did. But it backfired. It didn't work out. He got thrown in jail. But he said, "Oh, I could astral travel anywhere. I'm not locked up." You know. And a lot of stuff that he said in his interviews actually came true. So he was misdirected. He was a little delusional, but his philosophy and his way of thinking were correct as far as consciousness. He just didn't do it right. Um, he chose the wrong people. He shouldn't have did the Satanist thing because once you since he did the Satanist thing, that kind of threw everything off. Mm. I don't think Sharon Tate deserved any of that. Of course she didn't. Nobody deserves to die. But when you think about um, things on a higher dimension, human life is not the end. It's like he was crazy, right? I wouldn't say crazy, but he was on a higher level of consciousness. His intentions might not have been good on 3D Earth, but to him, the human soul doesn't die. It just gets recycled or comes back, blah, 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 blah. So, murder or killing someone is basically freeing their soul to come back and start over. So, they don't see it that way. You know what I'm saying? I know we do because, oh, that's somebody's mom, brother, sister, cousin, and we're going to miss them because somebody's murdered them. Yes, on 3D Earth, it's wrong. But on his level of consciousness at that time, it made sense. And it wasn't wrong. That's why there's a fine line between evil existing on certain dimensions. It doesn't. It's logical, greater good type. They're coming back anyway. That's why, people's governments and like all those conspiracy theories, people, that's why people can kill people without a blink of an eye. Because if they're on a higher level of consciousness, they don't see life as ending at that point. Only the physical life. Because they know that it's eternal. So they don't feel as bad. They transmute that energy or that karma away because you're coming right back. You might have a better life when you come back. So that's how they transmute it. That's how they justify killing a bunch of people. Oh, you'll be back. So, and it's not necessarily something that they're ever going to pay for because of transmutation. That's just how it is. There is no good or evil. It's how you vibrate. It's how you believe. You know, a lot of people want you to say, well, if you do good, you'll get good. If you do bad, you'll get bad. That's just not true, though. You know, and that's why it's very important to learn all the different dimensions, alchemy, how to transmute universal law, and how to create what you want. Also, it's also a form of protection against other people who are creating what they want. And sometimes, in order to create what you want, things happen. Yeah. So it depends. Everything depends on something else. So that's why it's important to access the sixth dimension so you can see where your decision is getting ready to take you. I mean, Charles Manson, he knew that there was a possibility he would go to jail or prison. So he saw that. And he knew that there was also a possibility he could end up being the next Jesus, and he saw that too. That one choice probably led to one of those choices, and he was willing to take that risk, basically. So sometimes when there's more than one option and there's a huge risk involved and you're willing to take that risk, then that's what you do. Sometimes making one decision can have 3 different outcomes or more, many, many more, but you're willing to risk it to get to the one that you think is the one you want. All those could be positive, but they might not be exactly how you want them, but they'll be positive. One might be negative and one might be positive, but you're willing to risk because you think you're going to land on the positive. Okay, so make sure you don't make yours that complicated by doing crazy stuff like him. you know, Choosing not to overreact in an argument with your spouse could lead to different things. Choosing not to overreact with someone who has left you, or been caught doing something that they weren't supposed to be doing. Choosing not to overreact, but to be strategic and think about it. Access the sixth dimension will help you more than you know. hmm So, will I ever do lectures? I thought that's what I was doing right now. You mean like in a public live place? No. I don't. I wouldn't do that. Um, Sorry. That's what the internet is for. Okay. What do you think about intentionally killing yourself because you know you'll come back to something better? For example, I messed up super bad and now I need to disappear. Well, in certain cultures, now I'm not saying do it, but I'm saying in certain cultures, they don't view suicide the same as they view it here. So, um, it's up to, everything is free will. I'm not saying go do it, but, you know, if that's what you want to do, who can stop you? I don't know. My mom says when she gets too old to take care of herself, she's gonna do it. Y'all not putting me in a nursing home. I ain't gonna be laying in a bed rotting away. I said, you're right. I said, you're right, Mom. You grew up Catholic. You ain't doing nothing. um, do you think you can go back to any lifetime and live it over with your memories intact if you access the sixth dimension? Yes, mentally and consciously you can, but not physically. So, for example, if you want to relive a memory and or visit a person who might have passed away, you can access it through your consciousness, maybe in an astral travel, but not on the physical. And you can't stay there. It's only because you can slow down time, so it could just be 10 minutes and it might have felt like a lifetime. You know, that movie Inception, how those people were like put to sleep and they were living their uh, what they want, the life that they wanted to live in their dreams, uh, and they stay asleep and hooked up to like a machine to keep them alive and stuff, but they are living in their consciousness, and it seems real to them. It's sort of like that, but you don't have to stay like that. You can slow down and forward time, and you don't have to be asleep. You know. Mm. Do you blame her? Have you seen how they treat the elderly? Oh yeah, I've seen. You know, I was a mortician, so I've seen the results, the end results. Oh yeah, of course. Mhm. Someone says, Kenny, Inception puts you to sleep. Watch Doctor Strange. It's very similar, but it won't put you to sleep. You'll be like, you probably already seen it though. Mhm. Okay. Um, trying to read some of you guys' questions. It's on Netflix. Yes, I watched it Netflix today, so I know it's on Netflix. A couple of months ago it was on cable, but now it's on Netflix. So. Mhm. How do you feel about weed? Y'all know how I feel about weed. I don't smoke it. I don't need it. I'm already there, consciously. But I feel like, mm, you know, I feel like it blocks you, and you'll have to do it all the time to get to the level that you want to get to, and it's going to become a crutch. And it's best to try to do things without anything, in my opinion. Because what if you don't have it and you need to access something and you can't get to it? You know, it's better to be able to do it on your own. That's what I always say. Now, if you need it and you want it and you gotta have it, that's free will. But I don't. Okay. You know, when you're in darkness, your DMT, it starts producing more light. Mm-mm. You know how when you're asleep and you're dreaming, and you first wake up and you open your eyes and you can still kind of see traces of colors and stuff? That's your DMT. It gets active and it produces more in darkness or when you're sleeping or in darkness. So get in that darkness. You won't need them weeds. The darkness is the weeds for occultists. That's how my mom says it. Weeds. No, she says tweeds. So, yes. So make sure you understand. Like sometimes you don't need all that stuff. You know, it does get you to a level of thinking that you're probably not able to get to without it. But if you can get to it without it, you'll be able to control more, have more control, more access, more control, remember more and be focused. And then, you don't develop a crutch. I mean, you can do it for fun and recreation, but don't use it for your consciousness if you're going to use it as a crutch. Mm-hmm. I will never pay for an upscale salon. It is obvious your husband can't afford it. Oh my gosh. Someone is talking and trolling my hair. You see, people are focused on the wrong thing. I'm talking about the sixth dimension and they're talking about hair. Okay. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I'm ethnic. My hair frizzes up, okay? My mother is black. I have black in me. If you have a problem with that, oh well. I if I spray it right now, it'll turn curly and made it into a fro. Oh well. Excuse me. Let me go get my flat iron and make you happy. Perhaps I was in the rain, Christmas shopping for my children. There we go. Make it even better for you. I'm gonna unlock with you now. I look like I could be in a Tim Burton movie now. Hold up. There we go. Okay, so somebody said mean. Y'all better not mean then. um, so another way to access, you know, let's talk about the nous. The nous is the source, all knowing, omnipotent consciousness, the higher mind. Okay, your subconscious mind knows all. You can access it, it will, and program it, reprogram it, and it will lead you and make you take certain steps, slow you down, speed you up, make you late for something, so that you can get to your destination of what you are wanting. Okay? Sometimes you don't know why you're stuck somewhere because you're stuck so long. Like, why am I looking at belts for 20 minutes? Like, I don't need a belt. That is your subconscious mind slowing you down and making you wait because perhaps you need to be at this place at this time in order to get to the next step to where you want to be. Sometimes you'll be putting on makeup and you'll keep going, and even though you're 10 minutes late, you don't care. You're like, okay, whatever. Or sometimes um, you don't finish enough. You might just do two steps of makeup when you usually put up a whole face, and you just, for some reason, you don't care today and you just throw some shades on and leave. Perhaps you have to be somewhere at that time. So that's why sometimes when you program your subconscious mind, you're unaware of the path that it's taking you on, but you have to trust yourself. Like, you can't say, well, why am I doing this? And, if you're going against your better judgment and your intuition, and then things start falling out of place, it's because you don't trust yourself. Or you beat yourself up for it. I spent 20 minutes looking at belts when I should have been doing this, because you're a slave to time and you're not able to access the sixth dimension. So your subconscious mind, is going to get reprogrammed into panic and start attracting or headed towards a bad situation. So that's what happens to a lot of people sometimes when they feel like they're cursed. You're in your own way most of the time, and you don't know why things are happening. It's because you're interfering and you don't trust yourself. You know, you let other people make decisions for you. You have a hard time making a choice. If you can't make your own choice, You can't choose your own destiny. Okay? If I make a choice for you, I just chose your destiny. That's why whenever people get readings from me and they ask me what to do, I'm like, you want me to choose your future and your destiny? Okay. You know, I tell them it's better if you figure that out, you know. And sometimes they get upset. Well, I thought you were going to guide me. I'm like, you want me to guide you into a future that you don't choose? You know? That's why it's very important when you go to someone and they tell you exactly what you're supposed to do. Like, what career am I supposed to be in? That's the number one question. I don't know what career you're supposed to be in. You know? What career do you want to be? That's what I ask. So make sure you make your own decisions because that affects your future and your destiny. You know, and you can access the sixth dimension if you're making your own decisions. If I make your decision for you, or somebody else is making your decision or determining your choice, you're not able to grow consciously. Okay? So stop asking other people what to do. Stop asking other people if this is okay or should I do this or that. A true alchemist knows what they're supposed to do. Okay? Why? Because they trust themselves. If you don't trust yourself, then you need to work on that. You know? If someone's leaving, bye, see you later. So, if you're lost, you don't know what direction to go in, it's because you haven't made a decision. And that's what you need to do. To create something that you want to do or figure out what you want to do and make a choice. That's all you got to do. Start heading into one direction that looks positive in the future. Hi, y'all. Okay. So, sixth dimension, Doctor Strange. You'll see him travel through many dimensions, and that there's a clip. You can watch clips on YouTube if you don't have Netflix. But it's pretty good, and you'll get a better understanding of how it works, looks, feels. But they don't sit there and explain it to you, like what this dimension does and that dimension does. You have to kind of already know so that you can recognize it. So in my group, I did post a document and a website that kind of goes through all the dimensions and tell you what you can observe in them, you know. So you'll be able to kind of recognize what you're viewing on the movie as well. And a lot of songs or some conscious, you know, musicians also put those things in the lyrics as well, and you'll be able to say, hey, he's talking about the dimension. You read the Emerald Tablets or the Ways of Hermes, you'll see on one aspect he's talking about the dimensions. You'll be able to recognize it because you have read and learned the different characteristics of each dimension. And when someone starts talking in code or, you know, occult knowledge, you'll understand what they're talking about. That's why I would say you got to learn first before you start applying the knowledge. Then you're able to apply the knowledge and not have to ask anybody any questions. You know, which is going to be because you know what you're doing. Okay, the group, just go to my channel page and click on my Facebook link and message me, and I can lead you to the group. Because it's a private group, it's a secret group, and I can't just, you won't find it on Facebook. I have to add you personally. And yes, there is a fee, sorry. It's only for serious people, and it doesn't include magic at all. It's all about the knowledge first. So there's no spell work or nothing in that group. Just strictly knowledge. The stuff you really need in order to be able to even successfully do the spell work. Um, so, dark energy. Dark energy, how does it tie into the dimensions? Well, it is the 12th dimension when you are able to access it, create with what you want with it, know your potential with it, know how to manipulate universal law through alchemy, and come back to the third dimension and use it at will. That is where dark energy comes in. If you've been with me this far and you've been manifesting with dark energy, you basically access the 12th dimension. Congratulations. Okay. So be proud of yourselves if you have been able to manifest with dark energy because you made it to the 12th dimension. Some people say you can only make it to 9. Who knew, right? Those are the light workers that can only make it to 9 because they don't work with dark energy. So they can't get to dark energy because they don't work with it. And they don't want to get to it. So they stay in 9. They scared. Someone says they scared. Yeah, fear keeps you back. Fear will keep you back and unable to access your higher consciousness. And hey, some people don't care. They just like, I don't care. I don't want to access it because they're afraid. And let them stay. It's not for everybody. Someone said I look super cute with this hairdo. Oh, thank you. Y'all don't know what's behind this hairdo. Some rain, some humidity. Y'all know it's almost 80 degrees in Houston and it just snowed last week because we have crazy weather. I just hope it's cold for Christmas, okay? Yeah, Mother Nature did my hair today. That's what happened. So, accessing the sixth dimension is basically visualizing your future or your past or the present somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is someone else doing at this moment in time? You can access it by thinking about what someone else is doing. This is how a lot of people astral project and go see what people are doing. Okay? But you have to also know some things first, like the probability of what they could be doing, or you can go and access 10 versions of what they might be doing right now and then pick the one that seems the realest. But I mean, people have a lot of free time on their hands to do stuff like this when they don't have anything else to do. But this is what like people practice, monks and spiritualists who have all day to meditate, astral project, learn, study, read old occult knowledge books and stuff like that. They're able to do all this stuff, and can tell you what you got on. I see you got on that shirt, that red shirt, One time I had someone astral project and told me what I had on. They could really do it. They were crazy, but they could do it. Like, they were talking crazy, but they did it. Like, sometimes when people are mentally ill, they're not really mentally ill. They're just on a different level of consciousness. And you just like, I know you lying. So, that's why I always say, people that are mentally ill, some of them have very, very powerful abilities. Because I'm telling you, this crazy lady astral projected and told me what I had on, what I was doing. While was I live? Mm, Was I live? I'm thinking. Hmm. I think I was live or something. This was years ago. But she did it. And I'm like, what? Anyway. I told my ex I did a freezer spell on his family and mother to be nice and on their best behavior when I'm around them, and he flipped out. Ha ha ha. Why are you telling people? You just had to tell somebody, didn't you? I wouldn't have told anybody. Um, hmm like for me to astral project somewhere, I really gotta want to be there. Okay? Like I really have to want to be there. There's nobody that I want to astral project to bad enough that's not already in my own house. Okay? So that's why, some people, they nosy and they want to go see what's going on. Me, I'm like, I don't care what's going on. Like, whatever. If y'all watch Stranger Things, that's what they got Eleven to do, to go spy on other people in other countries and bring back information and stuff like that. They were doing that on Suicide Squad, with that witch lady, forgot her name, Enchantress. Yeah. So it's, a lot of people say that they're using that as a form of spying. So you never know. Hmm. Tupac, no, he is alive. Hey, he could be. Shoot, I don't doubt it. There's certain laws, and not not universal law, but man law, that allows you to fake your death if certain circumstances have occurred, which they had done in his case. So who knows? Hold on, leave that open. So yeah, make sure. When you have an expanded consciousness, you can also see things in real life that people want you to believe is true that are not true. And you can see through the illusion of it because you know a lot, you understand certain things, but to the masses, it's believable. So you just go along with it, but you know the truth. And it's just like, okay, sure. And it's not your job to tell people, oh, it's a lie. It's really not. It's your job to say, I'm so glad I can see through that, you know. And if other people can't, they're not supposed to. So stop trying to convince them, you know. My autistic brother was obsessed with the stars, especially Orion's belt, and it's now a good omen for us. Oh yeah, look, I got, well, it was supposed to be the three stars that line up the pyramid, which is Orion's belt. That's where uh, the pyramids line up from. Very, very sacred spot. Okay, Aaliyah was set up. Hmm. Was she set up? Did she really die? Hmm. I never really thought about that one because, like, mm, mm, I don't know. I don't know how to feel. I don't know how I felt about her. I didn't know her well enough. You know, she was very kind of private. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, Rod says he works with the mentally ill, and they are aware of a lot of things. Yeah. Um, I know they are. Okay. because like I said, I have lots of mentally ill clients, and they be talking stuff that I've seen before, and I know I'm not mentally ill according to a diagnosis, but a lot of the stuff they describe, that's just another dimension to me. So it's sad that people don't understand and they just label them mentally ill because you see this and that. But I see it too when I'm on a different level of consciousness when I'm, astral traveling and doing certain things. Perhaps they're just able to see it all at the same time, um, without having to focus on it and blah 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 blah. Oh my God, y'all! I seen a Stranger Things Ouija board at Target today. It had like the Christmas lights as the letters, and it has the mom on there and the cop, and it's the Ouija board. I was like, should I get it? Nah. I have enough. But it was cute. Like, they had it at Target. Okay. That's where I was earlier today, getting wet in the rain. I did not want to go to the mall. I went to Target and TJ Maxx, and that's that. Okay, so the reason I chose to go to Target and TJ Maxx is because I accessed the sixth dimension. I closed my mind. I said, I'm gonna find a bad parking spot, have to walk in the rain all the way to the mall, fight 1,000 people in the mall, pay overpriced prices. Then I imagine the parking lot of Target and TJ Maxx. It's smaller. It's gonna be less crowded. I'm gonna get cheaper prices and more toys for my kids. Okay, that's where I'm going. And was in and out. Got a parking spot right in the front, the very first parking spot. So, you know, that's how I make my decisions. Are you awakening when you see 1111 and other numbers? 1111, 1111 represents a gate, a gateway. That's why they named 1111, or her number was 11 on Stranger Things, L, because she created that gateway into the dark energy place, or the other side, or the upside down, or whatever. And her name was 11, so she was in charge of opening and closing. Oh, sorry if y'all haven't watched the whole thing. Spoiler alert. So she's the gate. Um, and my birthday is on the 11th. So I was born on the 11th. Um, so look for that. 11 is a gateway into another dimension. Yeah. Consciousness is expanding. There's a gateway and opening into another dimension. It means a gateway, a portal, another dimension, a level of consciousness is going to open up to you. Yeah, my husband's birthday month is on the 11th. My birthday is on the 11th. So it's kind of cool. We're a gateway. I never thought about that. Let me do his numerology real quick. I never done it. Let's see. I think I have, but I forgot what it was. 2, 4, 9, 10, 19, 10, 6, 11, 2. So his numerology equals up to 11 and then turns into a 2. That's cool. Guess he was the gateway for me to get free. So I found my gateway to freedom. Maybe you could find yours. So No matter what your gateway is and how you get free, as long as you get free, you shouldn't care. You know, some people do it through marriage, some people do it through like hard work and investments or starting their own business. Some people do it through gifts and donations. Some people do it through, lawsuits. However you got to get there, okay? I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying, get there. And we trying to be good all your life and not get anywhere. Sometimes there's loopholes and gateways, and just like Doctor Strange said, like sometimes you gotta break the rules to be free. That's what he said. Now, I'm not saying go out and do bad things. I'm just saying, you know, figure it out. But don't be like Charles Manson. So, the 11 means gateway, the two pillars, you know, the consciousness, the gateway, the right and left, the masculine and the feminine, the third eye, and the gateway. Okay? So, would you ever do another interview with Leonard Elmira? Um, if he wants to, I don't know. Like, I feel like, we don't practice the same type of, I mean, we agree on a lot of stuff, don't get me wrong, but, we don't practice the same type of magic, but we both have effective magic, so I believe that his personality is what drives his magic. Like, literally, his belief in himself literally drives his magic because that's what drives mine, you know, and that's what drives, you know, anything is your own belief in something. So make sure you understand that, just like on the movie Doctor Strange, he was a doctor, a surgeon. He was, his ego was up here. You know, that's what gave him the immense amount of power and energy and determination that it took to become what he became or to do what he did in the movie. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta have that. You gotta have it. You can't be up here humble because that doesn't push anything. You can pretend to be humble, but you know, you can control the ego a bit, but you don't lose it because that's what pushes it. So that's what I like about him. A lot of people hate that about him, but that's the only thing really that's pushing magic these days is that, you know. If you don't have that, you better have some powerful mental monk chi energy from the temples of. You better have that. Okay. Oh, someone have a crush on him? You better go tell him. Oh, well, that's sweet. I'm about to. Someone says they're about to astral project tonight. Be humble in the streets and conscious in the dark. Yes, I am humble in the streets. It's called acting. It's like, hi, yes. Because, I can only be, I can't be confident or outrageous about everything because I'm not good at everything, like hair. So I can't be like, I know my hair look good. I'm on fleek. I can't be like, because it doesn't. Not right now. But I can say I know what I'm talking about when I talk about dimensions, dark energy, and manifesting, and making a pathway to your freedom so that you have time to become higher in your consciousness. I can boast about that, you know, but I can't. I mean, I can boast about the things that I can accomplish through the things that I know, but I don't walk around boasting about everything, you know. So that's what I'm saying. You don't have to be like this to everyone about everything. It's only about what you are, passionate about and what you are doing at the time. You know, your ability to know your own power and your own ability to create what you want. That's what you're supposed to be, um, you know, egotistical about, if anything. hmm Get rid of the ego in a sense of not caring what people think is true confidence. Yeah, and also it's called knowing. When you know you're the best at something, and I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm like, let's just use basketball player like Michael Jordan or Michael Jackson. He was the best entertainer. Some people might disagree, but you know, you can't argue with that. So he didn't have to say he just named himself the king and kept it moving and just did what he did. Um, but Kanye though, he took it to the wrong, like he couldn't back it up basically. So he was trying to use the power of suggestion and it just didn't work out that much, what I'm saying. Sometimes you can't use the power of suggestion when you don't have anything to back it up. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't really back it up enough, then don't claim it. Don't get up here acting like this, and that when you know you can't back it up. hmm And you see, when you know you're the best and nobody can touch you, you don't even have to have the ego anymore. You can just be humble. You can just be like, because you have no competition at that point. Like Michael Jackson, he had no competition, so he could be like he was because no one could touch him. You know, like no one was coming for his spot, so he could relax. He was what they called a living legend. hmm And I guess it's kind of like Jay Z in hip hop. He doesn't really have to compete with anybody taking his spot. So that's why he could drop his album being all personal and stuff, because he don't have to worry about it. No one can touch that. You don't have to worry about Kanye anymore, right? So, so anyway, yes, you must. And if you listen to a lot of lyrics of certain really deep, different type of artists, like who thought different, you'll see a lot of dimension talk in there as well. Prince, Michael, um, Lupe Fiasco, Jay Z. Well, Jay Z, I don't know if he's going to the dimensions yet, but um, I know Lupe Fiasco for sure. Um, Prince, Michael, Prince and Michael, um, very deep. Trying to think of some more, but hey, a lot of the conscious rappers, like super conscious, not just surface level conscious, but super conscious, the ones that are probably into the occult sciences and that let you know, they probably have a lot of music with talk of the different dimensions and levels of consciousness and stuff. B.O.B. Yeah, I know B.O.B. I've been listening to I know that song with him and Bruno Mars and Gnarls Barkley or CeeLo, whichever one he's going. CeeLo. Um, the other side. That's a good one. And I think there's a song by Lupe Fiasco called. It talks about sacred geometry, which is on the sixth dimension, and I forgot the name of it. Let me look at it real quick. It might be on his newest album, actually. Uh-oh. So, yeah, so you gotta look up. I think it's called Drogas, Drogas. Um, it says light out now. Light out. Okay, darkness. Drogas, light out now. Okay, Drogas. Hmm. I'm trying to look it up. Someone says Kendrick Lamar's music video. He's not as deep. I'm sorry, he's not on that level. Like he tries to be deep, but he's only deep on a surface level. Like seriously, these people are astral traveling through the universe and rapping and rhyming about it. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That other stuff is what the eye can see. This is what this eye can see. Um, so Kendrick Lamar is not deep to me, but he's deep to, you know, the surface deep, you know. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Anyway, Pharrell's pretty deep as well, but he doesn't go super deep because of money. But I've heard some of his music before. The Weeknd is deep too. He like way back then when he first came out. When he first came out before 50 Shades of Grey, he was deep too. Um. Anyway, yeah, a lot of them know, but they won't cross the line because of money. See, they don't have their own record label, so they are signed with people, and they're not free. So Jay Z is free because he owns his own label, so he can say what he wants and doesn't have to worry about people, not promoting his album or making conspiracies or whatever. I don't know. So, mhm, so that's why he's free. Lauren Hill, yeah, she couldn't say what she really wanted to, but until she got free, or just like because you're famous don't mean you're free. Sometimes you're under a contract and you still can't express what you want sometimes because that's not going to sell. I don't want you to do that. You know, I'm not going to invest money into you and send you here and there for concerts if you're not singing what the masses will buy. You know, so a lot of times they don't want you doing that type of stuff. Um, so you have to do what they want you to. Now, a lot of people won't even understand it. That's why, like that song "Dumb It Down." That's old, but by Lupe Fiasco. It's about like the record industry telling people to dumb it down because they don't understand that and they're not gonna buy it and it's not gonna hit the charts and it's a waste of money to sign you. If you ain't got no music that's gonna make sense to the masses, we don't want you and da da da. So So they say dumb it down. So, I say dumb it down in certain situations too to get what you need to get, but don't forget it and use it to your advantage sometimes. That's what a lot of people have to do. They know the truth, but they can't talk about it, but they can use it to act, to better themselves. Mhm. Mhm. Oh. Mm. Mm. Let's see if this is the right song. Hold on. I think it's the right song. Hold on. Narcissism on narc, so smart, you like. Okay, it's called Adoration of the Magi. Adoration of the Magi, featuring Crystal Torres by Lupe Fiasco. That's a good song. Yes. Mhm. Have you done a talk with Nasir Raw? No. I like his channel, but we're like on two different type of. He's more of a professorial type. I'm more of a would do whatever I feel like. Free spirit, I should say. So he's very organized and treats his knowledge like a professor, which is good because that's how some people learn. Some people like to learn different. Some people don't like to organize stuff. Like I know that's probably what he went to school for, education, but you know very structured type teachings. And I've been watching him for a long, ever since I've probably been on YouTube. So good stuff. Mm, thank you. Somebody says they're my biggest fan. Well, would I ever go on Saw Netter TV if they pay me? um, I might. Have I ever done group spells? Not really. I don't need group spells. I mean, I've done group manifestations with my children, so I guess that would count. Like, yeah. Have I? Yeah. So, okay. You ever want to do like a series on your channel? I have many series on my channel. Like series, like what? I have the Dark Energy playlist, the Conspiracy Theory playlist, Spells playlist. I kind of group my videos that aren't live from the past in a playlist on my channel. I have alchemy. Um, Someone says, do not go on Net or TV. I'm not going nowhere if they don't pay me. Okay. Another YouTuber said Rihanna's Bitch Better Have My Money is about a woman who already has material objects and wealth, wanting and attracting even more. Actually, it's about her accountant who stole money from her. The video, anyway. And that's what that's about. That's why she was kidnapping this dude's wife. And it said the accountant, because her accountant messed her out of a lot of money. hmm This was her reaching into the sixth dimension if she had went crazy and did those things she was talking about. But instead, she just lived it through fantasy, which is nothing wrong with that. She's a Pisces, so her imagination is very good. So she can fantasize and live out those decisions that she did not make as if she had made it. It works for me. hmm Let me read some more of this. Um, what's a good book to begin practicing other than the club yarn? Um, practicing? I mean, Universal Law is the only thing that you should really be practicing in alchemy books, like the Complete Idiot's Guide to Alchemy. I feel like learn that for sure. You can you can alter and transmute Universal Law with alchemy. Okay. Do you think Cardi B does witchcraft? Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's into Santeria because she takes pictures with her altars and candles and money and stuff on altars. So I mean, you can look it up, Google it. Mhm. Someone's asking if Cardi B does witchcraft. Yes, she does. Um, if you consider Santeria witchcraft, then yes. Um, and even on the Jay Z album, the new one, he talks about like feeding his kid, Beyonce feeding the kids liquid gold, and then he was like, the spiritual ish really works, blah 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 blah, because they started using their spirituality to get them to the next level, or magic, or dark energy, or manifesting, or whatever they did, and he says it in the song, like it really works, like duh. And see, they're not on this, emotional thing. Yes, they did. You did them wrong. That's what Beyonce did. She called him out, lived out her fantasy like Rihanna did on video. She didn't act emotional and ruin it, but she did create something out of it and create a profit off of it because their goal is to become super wealthy. And you can't do that breaking up. Okay? So instead of using emotional reaction to, him cheating on her or whatever, they took it to the next level and they used spiritual alchemy, mental alchemy, um, and took it to the next level and made a bunch of money off of it. Like, if you're gonna cheat on me, I'm gonna at least become a billionaire off of it. Okay, let me get to a billion. If you're gonna cheat on me, I'm not leaving you. I'm gonna use you to get to my billion. Because if I leave, I'm going backwards. You know. So I think that's their mentality, and it's of a true alchemist. You don't go backwards. You keep going. I don't care. Don't use your emotion. You're like, okay, I'll just go get even, and I'll be back. But we're gonna get this money. That's what they're saying. You know. Yeah. See, all these celebrities. Someone's talking about Kim K. All these celebrities use alchemy or mental or and spiritual alchemy to turn something bad into money. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. But we're sitting here reacting emotional and getting broke by the minute. But that was one of the challenges in my group because I be giving out challenges. I'm like, today's challenge is turn a negative into something that will make you money. Turn any negative situation into something that will make you money. Put money in your pocket. That is your mission for today. I don't care. It doesn't have to be for the day, but just figure out how to do it. You know. So I'm teaching how to apply this stuff, not just teaching it, but issuing challenges, getting people to explain what they did and how they did it and how they got the money from someone or a problem. Yes, this is what alchemy is. Any problem that comes in front of you is an opportunity to make money. I promise you. Any problem you see, you can make money off of. I guarantee you. That's universal law. Any problem you see before you, you can get paid from. Okay? If you don't see the money, Mama D says, "What's up?" Hey D. If you don't see the money in your problem, your third eye is not all the way open. Your focus is not there. You're unable to get out of fourth or fifth dimension. Okay? If you don't see money when you see a problem, you're not an alchemist, because that's the exact same thing as turning lead into gold. Ask a lot of my clients when I do consultations with them. They come in with a problem and leave with a business plan, or leave with a way to get what they need plus. Okay? Why? Because when I see problems, I see money. I see profit. That's all I see. I'm like, I don't see no problem. I see I see the steps to take to get paid from this problem. I see what you can do. If this were me, what would I do? I put myself in their position. If this was my problem, what would I do? Some people don't want to do the things. Oh no, that's not. Well, do you want to get out of the problem or not? Do you want to profit off of it or not? It's your decision. Hmm. If you keep looking for problems and not solutions, you're going to keep finding more problems. If you don't look for solutions and ways to profit off of the problem, then you're going to continue to attract problems. So you should get mad at that problem. Like, you should get upset at that problem. How dare you walk into my life and cause me, you know, to slow down what I'm doing? I'm gonna create a way to make you make up for interrupting my life and then earn me some money. You're gonna pay me what you owe me. Like Rihanna, you're gonna pay me what you owe me for disrupting my life, okay? And I'm gonna use you to get to the next level because you came here. Don't come back here, okay? Because I will pimp you out, basically. That's how you handle your problems. So when you see a problem, don't become the victim. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Don't let them pile up. Look at that problem and figure out how to get paid off of it. So sound like someone working at a NOC, a knock. I don't even know what that is. Hmm. Do you have any recommendations for beginning transmutation? Read on how to do it. Read what it is. Transmutation is basically taking a negative and turning into a profit, or a positive. You can take a negative and turn it into a positive, but if you can turn it into a profit, you doing the thing. You know what I'm saying? Um, so that's that's what people need to focus on. Any problem that pops up, don't look at the problem. Look at how you can make money off of it. And first of all, you will solve the problem and get paid. Um, and you'll be able to do this as well by helping other people solve their problems. Because you'll be able to see from a different perspective instead of your own problem. You'll see from other people's lives into their sixth dimension, um, how the problem can be solved, and then you can apply it to your problem and make money off of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think Napoleon Hill said that in his book. If you have a problem, help someone with a bigger problem, and when you get back to your problem, you'll know how to solve it. Okay? Yeah. Um. Oh, someone's about to send me a PayPal. Okay. Yeah, make sure you write and like send me your Facebook link and all that stuff because the group is on Facebook. Right. Um. So, people see money as a challenge. People see money as hard to get. People see money like that, but you have to see it in a different way if you want it to come to you. For example, if you see money in your future, like use the sixth dimension to see money in your future and how you want to be living. If you set, um, if you manifest what exactly what you want, not exactly, but around about what you want, and you use the dark energy to bring it to you, you're gonna meet your expectation. I always say by this time next year, I want to be doing this, and it always happens. Always. Why? Because I have a focus, I have a goal, I manifested it in the darkness. I believe that it can happen, and it does. I don't stop. I don't have any doubt because I've seen other people do it, and they're not any different than I am. We have the same abilities. I might have even, more. So I know I can do it. So I'm like, okay, well, the only thing that's stopping me is my own doubt. And if I put a certain thing in place, I'll be able to have exactly what I want. That's what I do. I don't doubt it. I make a real goal and I manifest it. Doing and work and everything I walk towards is towards that goal. It is programmed into my subconscious mind, and I went to the 12th dimension and I already created it. I went to the 6th dimension and I saw it, and I came back to the 3rd dimension and I have it. Bam. That's how you do it. You can't do it any other way. You can't do it any other way. You know, if you want it to be permanent, or if you want it to be, long lasting and something that you can depend on and keep building upon. So, and if your belief is not stable and you start to doubt it after a while, it could fall up. So that's why you have to have that mentality of doctor, or, ego, or, you know, Doctor Strange, or a big ego, or things like that. But you have to be able to back it up. You can't say it and not back it up. So that's the key. You have to be able to do the physical work as well. That's backing it up. Um, okay. A lot of people have been writing me about their children and CPS and things like that, and I don't mean to be rude, but I don't deal in those. Okay? I don't deal in those because I don't know what went down, what happened, and I'm not doing any spell work towards anything like that. Okay? So I don't know what went down, what happened. You can stop asking me because I don't know. Okay? I'm sorry. And with a name like, I just don't know what happened. There's some people who are terrible at and neglect children. I mean, there's a reason people take children away. I don't know. And so I can't judge the situation properly. And I don't get involved in that. So if CPS, will take away someone's children, it's for a reason. They just don't come and take them. Okay? So, um, and I don't like a lot of people will write me a book in my email, and I don't take like there's so many people that will write me about getting their ex back. Like they're gone. Like they're moved on. They're with somebody else. They used you, abused you, and dropped you. Move on, okay? Especially a lot of women who waited and gave it up to one person and became obsessed with this one person and just have to have this one person. Get over it. Go do somebody else, please. Go get it. Go hop on it and get on it and move on. I promise you, it's gonna be okay. Please, just go do it to anybody. I don't care. But these obsessed women who want the person back who they lost their virginity to, go have sex with somebody else, please. I'm begging you. Just go do it and get it out your system, and you won't even remember that ex's name because he was probably terrible anyway. Please don't laugh. It's you already did it. You might as well go do it again. That's what I did. Look at me now. I was obsessed with my first two, y'all. I thought he was God's gift to earth, but he wasn't. Okay. Someone says I'm rich in the astral realm, but jobless in this one. Because they said as above, so below. You lie. Why you always lying? um, your imagination is rich. Okay. Anyway, anybody can do this because I've seen. I mean, you have the poorest of the poor, the least educated type of people that can manifest and create and become like what they want to be in life. I think that's why their stories are so great. They come from nothing to everything. You know, from slavery to billionaire. It's the level up, and when you see that, you have to respect it, and you got to know that there's a formula. Shift in frequency. I always get that. So you have to understand anybody can do it. If you went to college, you got some type of education, you have all functions of your body, you should be able to do whatever you want. Even if you don't have any education, you should still be able to do what you want. You know, um, it's not what you know, it's what you can do. Because a college educated person might have a book memorized, but they don't know how to apply the knowledge. But you got somebody who's been working in that field for 20 years and they know how to apply the knowledge and didn't need to read the book or memorize the book. So it's very important to know that it's not all about what you learn, it's about what you can do. But you need the experience, or you need to be able to apply the knowledge that you actually learned. I wrote a fantasy novel when I was younger and I really want to get it out there. Okay, well, you can go publish it on Amazon as an ebook for free. Okay, go do that. Might as well start somewhere. Even R. Kelly said, "There's nothing to it if you just do it." Oh my God. Dark matter and dark energy is out. It's our Father, Lord Saturn. Satan. No, it's not. It is dark energy. It is the source energy. And when you get out of this multiverse, there's a whole other set of universal law in the other multiverses. So you think you got these laws down. If you ever figure out how to escape this multiverse and go to the next through whatever dimension that is, you gotta learn a whole new set of universal law. hmm Because it's different there. Yes, I've tried automatic writing. Yes, I know EA coding on YouTube. Um, yeah, when I was, and you don't let people talk to you any kind of way either. Okay, as an alchemist, as someone who is supposed to be able to control things and da da da, you don't let people talk to you any kind of crazy way either. Okay, that's why I get on these trolls because any sign of weakness, mm-mm, you got to let people know. Um, and that's why you don't let people test you without checking them. Okay. Mm. Is there other ways to access the higher dimensions rather than astral projection? Yes, of course. Thinking, imagination. Use your imagination. Close your eyes, meditate in darkness. Read about them. Actually, I would prefer to meditate in darkness. You're going to see some stuff in your third eye when your eyes are closed. Things are going to start happening. And if you go and read about the dimensions later on after that experience, you're going to see exactly some of those things that are described. You're going to remember them. So do experiments. You don't have to astral travel. You can meditate, sit in dark energy, do a scrying mirror, whatever, you know. You don't have to astral travel. It's a If you have a good imagination, you can visualize. Mm, okay. Are some people really dragons? Um, Dragons. I feel like you watch The Descendants. um, I don't know what you mean when you talk about dragons. You know, is it a spiritual connection as like how some people say there are mermaids and they could be referring to the spirit or the characteristics of a mermaid or a dragon. I feel that's what you're talking about. So yeah, like okay, there's some people who are considered dragons and mermaids and this and that, but doesn't mean that they're a physical dragon. It means that's what their energy is like, what their mentality and spirit is like. You know, um, so it's more on that conscious level, not in the physical level. Hmm. Do we have to reach the sixth dimension before we can instantly manifest? No. Um, Manifesting begins in the fourth and fifth dimension, but to instantly manifest, you probably got to get to at least 7 to 8D. But you can manifest and wait on it and believe, and it's coming on 4 and 5. But to instantly, like next day type stuff, like like I do, um, you got to get up there. So I don't tell people a lot of the stuff that I manifest, but I have witnesses, like lots of them. I just don't talk about it. You know what I mean? So we gotta make sure, like when we get to that point, you're not supposed to really talk about it too much. Okay? So it's just supposed to be between you and a small group of people that you know and trust, and da da da. You're not supposed to be telling everybody. You know. So because remember, they can throw doubt and they can throw energy your way as well. Manifestation are becoming instantaneous yet silent. Yep. When you can manifest something and you the very next day or the same day, multiple times, you're there. Okay? Not just once, not twice, not three times, but multiple times, and you've seen it, you have witness to it, and you got it, that's when you know, okay? If you do it one time, you're on your way. Two times, oh my gosh. Three times, you got this. Four times, okay, who wants some? Fifth time, you got it, So you gotta keep practicing. Keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, and keep doing it, keep manifesting, keep manifesting. Not for the same thing, but many things, even if you like, especially me, I work for other people sometimes. I do work for other people. So I'm constantly manifesting, doing spells, doing manifestations and stuff like that for other people as well. So my ability gets stronger every time because I believe in myself more and more and more each time. Now, it's not 100% because no manifestation is ever 100% because of the possibility or the circumstance of the situation could be changed, but for the most part, you know, if it doesn't have a lot to do with like free will, oh, it's coming quick. The more you try to mess with people's free will or suggest things upon people, remember they have also the ability to create their reality as well. So that's why I always say do prosperity spells. You know, do spells that don't interfere with free will, and you're going to get those instant results faster. You know, you keep trying to mess with free will, you're going to have to wait a while, or it might not happen at all because if that person is set in their way, and no matter what anybody does, that's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do. It's just like someone trying to do spell work on me to believe in Jesus and worship him. It ain't going to work because I already know what I know. Okay? I can't unknow it. So sometimes that's what it's like doing spell work on people who are very strong willed and know what they want. And if it ain't you, it ain't you. Okay? um, I'm sorry, but like there are some people that I won't do spell work for because they crazy. Not in a good way either. Okay? Dangerous, or I don't know what they did. I know that they're lying most of the time. Like I can tell when people are lying to me. It's I don't know. Maybe it's part of my gift. Well, I can tell when people are lying because I can tell when they send me emails. I can tell it's a lie. Um, there's telltale signs when people are lying to you about spell work. First of all, they don't tell you the whole story. They leave out details. They blame everybody else but themselves. And there's little to no um, emotion behind it except the anger. So I know when a lot of people are lying, and I'll keep asking questions, and then they'll say, "Fine, I'll just tell you the truth." I'm like, "Okay, that's what I was waiting on." Um, but when I see someone is crazy or obsessed or in a negative fashion, I won't help them. I'll say, "No, thank you." How far do you go before you will do so? If they want something legitimate and they're not, you know, obsessive crazy, or if they're not, if I can tell that they're in their emotions, I try to calm them down first and suggest something else. But if they're just deaf and they don't hear me, then I'll do this for you if it's gonna make you feel better. Um, just stay positive and calm your emotions and stop reacting to situations, and so the problem doesn't return. Okay, because that's a lot of people's problems. I'll do 10 spells for somebody, and they'll mess all of it up because it was going good, it was working, and all of a sudden they have an emotional outburst, and things are back to the way they were before those 10 spells. And guess what? They messed up. So if you're going to have spell work done, you also need to be working on your emotions as well. Okay? and yourself. I was doing spell work for someone for a while. It was working, and they kept driving that person away, got them taken away somewhere in the system because of emotions. Okay, so I'm like, okay, you know what? If I need an app builder, I need an app builder because I'm going to create the Slap app. Every time you do something stupid, I'm gonna hit the Slap app to buzz and shock you or something on the phone. I really need it. Some people, they don't, they want to hear the truth, but no one will tell them. So that's why they come to me because I don't really know them personally and I have nothing to gain or lose from them. So I give it to them straight. I'm like, no, you know, look, I don't, because I have nothing to gain from them. I have nothing to lose either. So they know that I'm going to just be honest. Hold on, I'm trying to read these. I smell something. It smells like Chinese food. I think someone just microwaved something. Do you mind sharing any of your success stories, like business wise? Um, like testimonies of how I help people or of myself because I try to post all my testimonies are monthly and then I have them in a photo album on Facebook. Mhm. Okay, so y'all having a whole conversation up in there. Have you ever done spells for the homeless? Yes. I actually have done spells for the homeless, and I always wanted to ask, like, how do you get to this level? And we talk about it, and we talk about the problems, and we talk about ignoring the problems, and we don't just do spell work. I talk about stuff like you can't just end up homeless. You don't wake up homeless, okay? So we talk about it, and we take responsibility for our choices. So I do readings, consultations, and spell work, but I don't just take the money and say, okay, I'm gonna do a spell work so you don't be homeless no more. I'm like, tell me how you got homeless, so I can help them get out of it. Like seriously, not the other way. Because to me, if you don't know what you did wrong, then you're gonna repeat it again and again. And no matter how many spells you do, you're gonna end up homeless again if you don't know how or what you did wrong or how to correct it. For example, if you're homeless and you're spending money on a reading, that might be clue number one. Okay? I'm just saying. Um, my life has lost direction. What kind of spell would help me find my way back? The kind of spell where you sit alone and think about what you want to do and how to make your life better. You know, a head working spell to get your mind focused on yourself. You know, your life doesn't lose direction. You give up. You make a choice to not do something that you're supposed to do. That's all it is. You know, take responsibility is the first step. What about attracting a business plan or investor? Do you have a business plan that will attract an investor? Go sit in the dark until you have one. There you go. Hmm. Does writing about emotions and stuff counteract manifestation journal? Um, when I got upset and mad, I used to write down all that stuff, and I used to be saying some crazy stuff. And I realized I could be writing my manifestations. And instead of focusing on the negative, I'm focusing on what I want. So yes, it does. You know, you're gonna be mad. You can be mad, but channel it into creating. You know, channel those messed up emotions into manifesting something you want. That's transmutation. What do the spirits that help us want from us in return if we live in America and can't kill the animal sacrifice? Um, well, if that is what you practice, they have blood at the butcher. Just go ask for some pig blood. Go to the Latino grocery store, to the butcher, and ask for some blood. Or get a pack of meat and drain the blood. I don't know. That's what a lot of people do though. Okay, trying to read some more. Yeah, a lot of these ladies need to get out of their emotions. Okay, I know it's hard, but you can't put your happiness in someone else's hand. That's your fault. Okay, if you mad at someone because you expected too much out of them, that's your fault. Okay, stop, stop. The only reason you're mad is because you had too high of an expectation for somebody and they didn't meet it. If you never had that expectation, you wouldn't be mad, right? You don't expect a crackhead to come and pay all your bills, do you? You can't. You're not gonna be mad at him if he doesn't, right? Because he's a crackhead, right? You can't be mad at a cheater for cheating, okay? You can't be mad at someone who has no goals, no good job to buy you a Louis Vuitton purse. You can't. Okay, stop. If you expecting this type of man to do what this other type of man is supposed to do, that's your fault. Okay? If people are messing with you at work or, making you upset because they don't like you, you know, who cares? There's haters everywhere. Just ignore them like they don't exist. That's the best way. Or you clown them back. Come up with some comebacks. um, so we can never believe in other people. You can believe them as far as you can see them. You judge people by their actions, not their words, okay? If they're telling you something and doing something different, that's what you're supposed to believe, what they're doing, not what they're telling you or what they told you. You're supposed to believe what they do, action, okay? If you want to believe in other people and you risk having your heart broken, that is up to you. But you can't be mad at them because they didn't take that risk, you did. That's all. They didn't take the risk, you took the risk. It's your choice. There's some women who will date someone, never become emotionally involved, don't care, don't even text the person unless they want something. And those women don't walk around hurt and writing in journals and crying. you know? They're like, oh, you text? Hold on. That was 2 days ago. Why didn't you call me? They're not wrapped up in that. Why? Because they don't expect that person to give them or make them happy. They're already happy. They already got what they need. You know, and it's not. They're not dependent on that person for their happiness or to make them feel validated. You have to validate yourself. You know, by doing that, that man's gonna want that woman even more because she don't need him. She's not expecting anything from him. So he's going to do everything. Oh my God. She doesn't expect anything from me. She's not even calling me back. What can I do to get her attention? Oh, I know. I'm going to go buy her this. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to pay all these attention to her. Da da da. If you always up in someone's face, expecting them to do A, B, C, and D, you know, um, things like that, they're not going to want to do it. Okay? So stop investing in people and stop depending on people for your happiness. Depend on yourself. When you're happy and you're vibrating happiness and you're vibrating, I'm all this and all that, and you lucky to be with me, that's how they're going to treat you. If you're vibrating desperate, emotional, rejected, that's what you're going to vibrate, and that's what you're going to attract. Being rejected, having your emotions hurt and ignored. Stop acting like that, and you won't attract it. Um, where does happiness come from? Properness, happiness that comes from within. What is it based on? Happiness is just like sadness. It's not permanent, but peace and constant joy, even though it sounds corny, but peace and constant joy are constant. That means you're not worried about anything. You're not stressed about anything. You're in bliss. You're in a state of bliss. Like, all is well. If you see something great, you see your favorite nephew or niece walk in the room and they have a gift for you, then you're happy. Hi, hi, hi. Okay. If they leave, you're still good. You're like, oh, that was a nice visit. You see, something sad on TV, you get sad. When the commercial comes back on, you're back to peaceful. So happiness is a feeling and it's an emotion. Peace and joy is a state of mind. It's a consciousness. Okay. So if you can have, if you're satisfied with everything that you are doing in life, you're not worried about another person. You're at peace, and you have constant joy because you're not looking for things to be upset about. Your expectations, you know, are only of yourself and not of other people, and you don't really get upset if they don't deliver on an expectations because you never had any. Okay, it is what it is. Now, if you're married and you're in a partnership and it's like, okay, you're supposed to do this and you didn't, okay, there's a way to deal with that. Okay, you don't get mad at the person. You just say, okay, well, I see that your word doesn't mean a lot, so I'm not going to really be believing you anymore. You cut it off right there. You just cut it off. And you say, okay, well, I will have a backup. You don't ask that person for that anymore. You do it. You ask someone else or you do it yourself. So you cut them off and let them know, hey, you don't your word is not bond. Basically, I can't trust you. The trust is gone, and I will not be investing my time or energy with you anymore. One strike. You might give three strikes, but usually sometimes it's one strike with women. Gotta be careful. hmm If I barged into your life and conned you and then got mad at you for having expectations, if you barge in someone's life and then they conned you, somebody conned you, you should have. Okay, if you're able to be conned, it's because you weren't thinking logically. You were using emotion, and that's what con artists prey on: emotional people. Okay, so stop being emotional. If I was a con artist, I'd prey on emotional people all the time because they're the easiest. Okay, get out of those emotions, and you won't be a target to be conned. There you go. Again, it's your fault, and you have to learn. You know, You might be young and new to everything, but that's your lesson. Now you know better. Now you won't repeat it, hopefully. I know people have really been conned out of money. So if you've been conned, it's because you're too emotional and they see how they can get. That's how con artists and scammers do online. They find these desperate women. Oh, let me go to this chat room or this dating site. They find a desperate woman and they go in there. Oh, you're so beautiful and I can't wait. I want to marry you and da da da. Then they come up with a problem. Oh my God, I'm trying to save up to buy you a ring. My car broke down and I need a car part that costs this much money. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh baby, I'll send it to you. What's your PayPal? You know. Meanwhile, they're in a internet cafe in a different country, just getting paid. They're never gonna meet you. They don't want to marry you. They just taking your money on your emotion. Okay. I had one try me. I'm like, do I look desperate to you? Hello, beautiful queen. I want to make you my wife. I'm a prince. And I'm like, I sent him my PayPal. He didn't answer that, though. Anyways. No, I just send them my PayPal. That's when they leave. They don't ever come back. Or you send if somebody's bugging you, a guy bugging you in your inbox, send them a PayPal. They will never bug you again. PayPal link. Okay. When someone gets a reading, do those results have a good chance of happening in the future? Okay. When I do readings, I always explain to the person most of the time, whatever you're vibrating on and whatever choice you're leaning towards at this time is what the cards are going to come out to. You know. So if you're vibrating on a low vibration, if you're thinking about doing something stupid, that's what the cards are going to reflect. What you're vibrating. Okay? So before you go get a reading, make sure you're on a level of consciousness or on a vibration that you want things to go in. And sometimes you might want them, but if you're vibrating doubt, that's going to get picked up. If you know that this dude that you're chasing behind don't want you secretly in the back of your head, you already know that. That's what the cards are going to reflect. Okay? You can go to 18 readers. 3 might say they're your soulmate and you got a curse on you. So you can get spell work done. 2 might say, oh, he's coming back. I'm going to tell you, he don't want you. And then you're going to tell me, but I had 18 readings and they all said he was my soulmate and he was on his way back. But he lives on the other side of the world and he's married. Okay, that make a lot of sense. How much they get you for? And so the story goes on. So I'm just like, you know what? And they don't want to hear it. Well, are you sure you don't see us getting married? Okay, so is he going to get a passport, buy a plane ticket, divorce his wife, leave his 8 kids, fly all the way back to the United States where he don't have a job because he's not a citizen, marry you, leave his family and kids? Are you going to pay for his child support? Think about this kind of stuff, okay? Don't come to me asking me if this is your soulmate. Men make logical decisions. They're not going to leave their wife and 8 kids in a different country just because they lied and said they was going to marry you just so you could give it up to them while they was here visiting and you fell for the okie doke and then they went back. No, okay? Men are logical. They're not going to base their life on an emotion. So the answer is no. He ain't coming back and that's not your soulmate. Okay? So that's why you have to use common sense half the time. You got to use common sense. And I always ask this to women who are dating, like, married men who want the man to leave the wife for them. I'm like, Okay, can he afford to leave his wife? First of all, can he afford a lawyer? Can he afford to give her child support for all them kids? And when he comes to you, I don't want him after he's broke. No. Okay, well then, what are you doing here? Let's think it through. Let's use our brain cells to think it through. A man is not going to give up everything he worked for because you want to get married. It's going to cost him thousands upon thousands of lawyers' fees. He got to sell the house. He got to pay child support. He got to go find another place to live. They're going to take 20% of his check or more. For you? For you? Do you really think he's going to do all that for you? If he was going to do all that for you, it would have already been done. But he's not. He's just telling you so you can stay hanging on. Okay? So, men are logical. They will always choose the best financial option. Okay? Not because they love you and just have to be with you. They're not going to do it. They might cheat on their wife, but they ain't finna give up half their life savings and 401k and all that stuff for you. Because all they got to do is go get another one and start over. So stop doing that. What's called being attacked? Okay. Black magic is any magic done for selfish means, not necessarily evil, but man's creation. There is no such thing as soulmates or twin flames. True. I don't believe in them either. That's why I always tell people I don't believe in. Can you see who my soulmate is? Oh, they already died. I'm sorry, you missed them. No, I said I tell them I don't believe them. Layla, is that you? What's up?
Hello, it's me.
How can women be more logical? Stop using so much emotion. Layla, your hair. It looks like mine.
Yeah, I know.
I've been out in the rain.
Mine looks worse.
I know. You need to go comb it. You look at home.
My hair is so horrible.
Just go comb it and put it up.
But
You're getting it done tomorrow. Just go put it up. Okay, so why women are so sensitive? Layla, why are women so sensitive?
Because women are more sensitive.
That's not her answer.
Okay, so
Why are you so sensitive?
because I was born sensitive.
Because you were born sensitive?
Yes, one of my emotional features.
Why?
Because I don't know why I'm so sensitive. I'm so sensitive.
Because you feel too much?
I don't
You care too much, don't you?
Unlike you.
You care too much. You care too much, that's why. Stop caring.
I try.
Layla always tells me, you don't care enough. That's not nice. You need to stop doing that. I'm like, you gonna learn. You gonna learn, okay?
She
I said, you.
She does not have a heart at all.
I do have a heart for certain people.
Did you order us a yearbook?
No, not yet.
Well, it ends this month. The end of this
That's
month.
a lie. They're gonna sell yearbooks for sale in one more month. They're just trying to get money for the end of the year so they can do their taxes. You just have to stop caring. Only care about yourself.
What?
And of those that are very close.
What?
Like your children.
like me?
Right. Yeah. That's, your kids and your family, and then everybody else don't care. That's how I do it. What if she stopped caring about you? I don't know if I want to tell her that. What if she stopped? What? So ego and selfishness works? Of course it works. Look at everybody who's successful. They're not humble and meek, are they? Unless they're just acting.
Mm.
Okay.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
When I grow up,
Or when you were a kid, what did you want to be?
what I am now,
You wanted to be this
I
when
want-
you were like 9 years old?
I wanted to be a mortician, and I already did that. Then I wanted to do readings, which I do.
Wait, I thought you went to culinary school.
I did that too, just for fun.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, like people think that if you do everything right and you have a good heart and you're nice, that you're gonna get your reward, but there's no reward for that
No.
unless somebody offers, unless someone wants to give you a reward. But there's seldom a reward for that. You know, usually they just say, "Ooh, she's nice. Go ask her," and then they just start taking advantage. "Ooh, she'll do it. She's nice. Go ask her. Oh, she'll do it. She's nice. Go ask her. Oh, she'll do anything for anybody. Go ask her." And then before you know it, you being used and abused. You want to be the one that say, "Ooh, don't go ask her. She gonna say no. Ooh, don't go ask her. Leave her alone. Don't go ask her. Ask this other girl over here. She's really, really nice, and she'll do whatever. Okay? She'll even drive you 50 miles." So, be the one that they don't want to come to unless it's a last resort and they don't have a choice. That's who you gotta be. They practically have to beg you and give you 18 reasons in order for you to even come close to saying yes. That's what you gotta be. Right? Um, Layla. So now do you understand
What?
why I am the way that I am?
Yeah.
Alrighty. I used to be really nice, actually. And guess what?
But you?
Can you do this for me? Can you go pick up this? Can you do this? Can you do that? Da 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 da. Can you pay me? Nope. Then nope. Can't do it. No. There's only so many times you can take it, and then after a while you're just like no.
No.
No. Then they want to get mad for you saying no about your own life.
But yes, no.
That's when you know right then and there it's time to say no every time. When someone gets mad at you for saying no, when they ask you to do a favor for them, that's when you know it's over. It is over. When someone cusses you out for saying no about making a decision in your own life, that's when you know you gotta cut it. Cut it. Cut it. So, Layla, if somebody asked you over and over and over to do something and you went and do it and do it and do it every time, and then one time you couldn't because you were sick and dying, or not really dying, but felt like you were dying, and you said no, and then they cussed you out, what would you do?
Smack them.
No, all over the phone.
Oh, over the phone? I would say no. And then hang them up.
And then when they call back, what would you do?
Put it to voicemail.
And what if they text you? Then what?
Block their number.
What if you can't block them because they family?
You can block anyone.
So you can block anyone. Okay, see?
No, then they would know me. So why would they even do that in the first place?
Because you easy to take advantage of because you're too
But
nice.
I'm not.
But you said you were nice and you had a heart.
I said I had a heart. Not I would say yes all the time.
What if you liked the person a lot
No.
and you said yes too many times and then they started taking you for granted?
Well, I don't.
See, you do it too.
What?
Don't judge me unless you walk in my shoes.
I don't want to walk in your shoes.
Okay? See? So, there's a time and place for everything. I have a heart for the people that I have a heart for, and then there's other people that I don't have a heart for. So, you have to pick and choose, basically. You can't care for everybody. You can't give everybody the same chance. And then you'll be able to spot those type of people in the future because you'll see the same characteristics in them that you saw in that person who made you wake up. Okay? This is expanding your consciousness. You'll see a user coming from a mile away. You'll see them key characteristics because you recognize them. Okay? Then you'll be like, I know what your angle is. And you'll just say no from the start. Nope.
Nope.
So sorry. You know.
Nope. What? Have you said yes before to someone?
I say yes to you all the time, Linda.
Well, but you say yes even more to Sasha.
I say yes to Sasha even more, but I do more for you.
You say more to Sasha. You say more to Sasha. And you care more about Sasha.
No, I don't. She's just a baby. She's the baby. You know, you have to give them extra attention. She's selfish. What the? Let me see that. What you got on your lip? Oh, God. That's not your color. No, wait a minute. You looking like Nicki Minaj. Sasha is a baby, and I have to help her. You're smart.
She's 9 years old. She's about a year and a half younger than me.
Yeah, but you're like a grown woman already.
I'm 10.
But you don't act 10.
But whatever. Be like that.
Okay, Layla.
These might be nope. I got it.
Okay. Yes. What are you doing, Sasha?
I'm gonna do a dance. It's called
I don't know what that's, the running dance?
I don't know. I don't know what to call it yet.
I'm reading your dark energy book as we speak. Oh, thank you. So if you find yourself being used a lot, stop caring. Okay, and say no. That's all you gotta do.
Or just ignore them.
Cut them off.
It doesn't matter.
And don't care what they think. And hang up on them and block them. And like Layla said, block. That's what they got the block button for.
Yes.
Then I have some women writing me talking about, I love him, but he blocked me. If somebody block you, if somebody blocks you,
and you still love them, that's a one-way relationship.
it's a one-way relationship. You in love with the phone that blocked you.
Which is not really a relationship at all. Because it has to take two people to make a relationship. And unless you have a relationship with yourself.
If somebody blocked me on the phone and I'm still, after them, there's something wrong with me. Like, seriously, there's something wrong with me. I would have stalker tendencies.
Oh.
I'm like, just go get another one. God, it's so easy. Just walk outside, do this, and you got one. I'm sorry. I'm leaving like, right? And just do this.
Gosh, there's dating apps. You could just literally go get one, and then you can find someone. It's easy as pie.
How you know about dating apps?
I don't know.
You better not be on one.
No.
Yeah, there's so many dating apps. You can find somebody quick.
Commercials.
How you know they got commercials?
Because I watch TV like almost every single person does on this planet.
Oh, I thought you meant the dating apps have commercials.
No, what the heck? The TV has commercials.
Okay. You want it to be this?
Something just shifted.
How you felt?
No, like I heard something move. Like
You know them spirits is over there.
like metal clinking.
Oh.
Like cute people.
Hey, Layla,
Yeah.
what did you think of the movie?
What?
Oh, you weren't even paying attention. You were on your
What movie?
Doctor Strange.
Oh, yeah, I watched it somehow.
What did you think about it?
Think about it.
Yeah, from a child's perspective, what did you think about it?
I thought it was really strange because the movie was called Doctor Strange.
You weren't watching it.
Yes, I was.
Bye.
I was watching it. You got to trust me. I'm Daniela.
Well, what did you think about the end then?
The end,
Mhm.
it has meaning, but I didn't know the meaning.
Is that how you do your schoolwork?
See, it has a meaning, but I don't know the meaning.
That's how I tell Sasha to answer her question like a genius if she don't know the answer. Well, according to the sixth dimension, there are several answers to this question. If we leave the multiverse, we have a whole new set of universal law, which would make this question obsolete. You don't know the answer, that's how you answer.
What is the life cycle of a tree? Well, what kind of tree? What kind of tree? What planet is it on? How much air does it have?
You sound like, what's his name, Reed on
Oh God.
Criminal Minds.
No.
Be like Reed.
Well, what kind of soil does it have? How much water does it get a day?
Mm-hmm.
What angle is the sun at?
That's right, son. That's how you answer it. And if they say it's wrong, then they're wrong.
You're wrong because you didn't tell me what kind of. You didn't tell me any details. You just said what kind of. You didn't even say what kind of tree. So you didn't give me enough information to solve the question.
Yes. So, if you teach your children to answer like that, they're going to probably put them in special classes for advanced children, even though they didn't know the answer and they just manipulated their way out of it.
I don't do that because I'm scared of my teacher.
You scared of your teacher?
Yes. He's like, what the heck did you put?
I'm sorry, I was never scared of any of my teachers.
Because you had courage.
I have courage. You need to have courage too.
I do have courage.
You know you're not going to get in trouble?
I know.
What they going to do? Call me? I'm going to just laugh. She said, what?
We're calling your mom. We're calling your mom.
Good luck.
Good luck with that. She's the one who made me write this. Ah, I got you. Now you can't get mad at me.
Layla's the good one. She wants to follow the rules.
But sometimes I accidentally break them, and so yeah.
Well, as long as you know that you won't get in trouble.
Yeah, right.
What if they called her dad? He wouldn't answer. He don't answer that phone. If it's a number he don't know, he's not answering. So what would you be doing? Layla answered the question really bad, and she's doing it on purpose, and she's disrupting the class.
What? I didn't even talk. How am I disrupting the class?
No, she's never gotten in trouble. She's a good girl. Never.
Yes, I have gotten in trouble once.
Once. What?
Yes.
What happened?
So we were putting away our homework in third grade. We were putting away our homework in third grade, and this boy like smacked my arm, and I smacked him with my paper.
Mhm.
So then I got mad at him, and then I put hand sanitizer in his seat, and the teacher was standing in the corner where I was, so she saw me. So she was like she's like, what are you doing? Go outside and talk to you. She told me to go get some paper towels from the bathroom to go wipe it up, and and in my mind I was thinking, don't I get the cleaner chair because we were switching chairs? Don't I get the cleaner chair?
Okay, well, before you do something, you gotta look around to make sure there's no witnesses.
I was looking around and she came over there and I was like, oh no. I'm in deep trouble.
That's okay, Layla. You have to be more strategic.
But you know what? We both got marks in our folders.
Y'all both got in trouble. I don't remember that note. I just laughed. Oh well.
I didn't even get a note. It was just a
She
mark.
texted me.
She did.
They don't send home notes now. They text you. Layla was being very bad today in school. I'm like, that's nothing.
I just wanted.
She was just trying to clean his booty.
It smelled like. It smelled like duty.
My kids can't get in trouble. Like, half their rules are silly anyway. So, thank you, Layla, for your story time. Now, I guess I need to wrap this up because I've been on here forever.
How many hours?
I don't even know. How long have I been on here? 1 hour.
Well, when did you
65
get
minutes.
on? When did you get on?
I don't remember. At 1 hour and 65 minutes. So, yeah, I'm just, they're not bad at all. Actually, I try to tell them to do other things and they won't even do it. No, mommy. It's like, man, I wish I could go back to school so I could do things and get away with it. If I had a mom like me, I would be like causing a ruckus.
Yes, you would be very bad.
I know, but they would just put me up to the next grade level because I'd be too advanced.
That's why you get your teachers nice gifts for Christmas and holidays and stuff on their birthday, because you want them to like you more.
How do I make sure no one gets hurt in the process of my manifestation or spells? Do I specify that I don't want anyone to get hurt?
Yes, I have the answer.
Yes, Layla?
Okay, so you have to say what you specifically want, and you have to think of everything. Like, I want him to love me without anyone getting hurt. Like, yeah. You have to be specific.
See, that only works when you want something positive, but when you're mad and you're trying to manifest some type of revenge or something, you don't care who got hurt, okay?
Like, I don't care.
That's the difference. Like, no one has ever come to me and say, will you do a revenge spell or a breakup spell, but I don't want nobody to get hurt? No, when you're in your feelings, you don't care. When you're trying to manifest something for yourself, then you care. But when you're mad, you don't care.
No.
So, be careful with that. But what I do is, like, that's already back. I do so many spells. That's already back in my subconscious mind. That's already there in my subconscious mind, But I don't say everyone, because everyone is everyone on the earth. Okay? So, people die every day. Somebody gonna get hurt as the universe makes your manifestation come to you, And it's just a ripple effect. So, people are gonna die anyway, or get hurt, or do whatever. You can't stop that, okay? What you can say is, I hope that no one I know gets hurt.
I know.
Okay?
This hair. What is this hair?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
She's getting her hair done tomorrow, y'all.
Yeah.
I need to do mine too. Okay. I'm manifesting a new car, but I don't want anything bad to happen to me or my family in order for me to get it. Well, then manifest it. I want a new car, and I don't want anyone that I know to get hurt. There you go. So there. That's how you do that, Tips to be confident when you need to set people straight, Layla.
Huh?
When someone is being mean to you or you need to set people straight, how do you have the confidence to stand up to them?
Oh, well, first, you shouldn't be really scared of them unless they're really older than you.
If you're a child, yeah.
Yes. And you should just say, okay, I don't want you to bully me or be mean to me anymore. Could you please stop? And they, they will either stop, or if they don't stop, you embarrass them. I did that once.
Okay, yeah.
I
I told
embarrassed
Layla.
them.
I told Layla to embarrass somebody if they kept messing with her. That's what you do. You embarrass them, okay? Because they will quit.
Kept
There's
kicking
this
my
there's
foot
this boy that kept kicking her as he walked. He was kicking her heels
on purpose.
on purpose. I said you need to embarrass him so he stops. Well, how do I do that? Turn around and say you must like me a lot because you sure are trying to get my attention. You want my phone number or something? All you gotta do is ask. I know you didn't say all that, but you know, I have to
I
ask.
just said, do you like me or something?
And then he stopped.
He's like, what? No. And then he never messed me ever
You
again.
gotta embarrass them. Say it loud too.
But as that was happening, my friend was just over there laughing.
Just embarrass people. Like on my other channel, like I say, if you're on a date and the check comes and he asks you to pay half, start talking loud. Embarrass him. So you pay the whole thing. Excuse me, waiter. We need to split the check because he didn't bring enough money. Waiter.
And then
She can't hear. She's so deaf. You know. Waiter. We need to we need to split this check. He's like, oh, because he didn't bring enough money. He don't get paid till like next week or something. I don't know. No, I have the money. Okay, well then it's all on him then. Okay. He says he has the money. Here. Don't split it. Never mind. And he's like, oh, I didn't know you were. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were having financial problems. You know, we could have waited. Talk loud. You know, that's how you get people. You know, play dumb. Talk loud.
I didn't have to talk loud because the whole class was silent. So.
Or somebody's messing with you at work. You're not doing your job right, or you messed up. What? You messed up? No, you messed up.
You messed up?
Oh, you know. No, I didn't. Play dumb.
No, wait.
What are you talking about? Aren't you supposed to be doing your own work while you sitting here looking at my work?
Do your own work.
You have a crush on me? What?
Yeah,
Oh my God, I didn't say that. Yes, you did.
I read between the lines, okay?
That's why you always in my office. That's why you always hovering over me because you like me. What you want?
You want me?
My work is perfect. I don't know what you're talking about. You try to find something wrong so you could come in here and look at me. I know sexual harassment. Okay, that's what you gotta do. So, um, reverse it. Reverse it. Reverse it. Reverse. Take it and reverse it. Like Missy say, flip it back and reverse it. Somebody is harassing you constantly. Say, I know you always in here because you like me.
Stop it.
I know you always talking about me because you like me. You know, I would talk about me too if I wasn't me. I understand. You gotta get them. That's how you do it.
If I wasn't me.
You know, and they're gonna think you're crazy and they will never bother you again. I promise you. They're gonna be like, don't go in her office. She's gonna say sexual harassment. Oh, don't go tell her her work is wrong. Oh no, she's gonna think you like her. Oh, she's gonna file sexual harassment. Don't do that. Oh, don't go over there because she's gonna think you're flirting with her. Stay away from that office. Just let her do her work in peace. Nobody will come up to your office. They'll just slide notes under your door. There you go. Email you or something.
Email. It could but I ain't seen
Sometimes
him
you
in
just have to
person.
be crazy in this world, you know, to make it. One time, okay, I don't even tell people's business, but this is old, so I don't think she cares. This lady got caught sprinkling hot foot powder at work.
Wow. Wow.
Like from the camera.
Wow.
Like, oh,
Just wow.
I was trying to sprinkle hot foot powder. Like they were telling me they were trying to sprinkle hot foot powder in this lady's office and in her desk and stuff, and the camera got her. Like, what were you doing in there? What's that in that jar?
You see, we were just sprinkling cinnamon, you know?
See, Layla, that's how Layla got caught. Trying to put hand sanitizer in somebody's chair. You gotta make sure there's no cameras.
There,
Or put a scarf over it or something.
a scarf. It was like May.
First rule, if you're gonna do something, check for cameras, check for witnesses, okay? Watch Criminal Minds before you act.
I do.
Like,
Oh gosh.
and so you don't look conspicuous, stretch. Go like now you just did a camera check, okay? Get you a mirror. Be like, look at behind you, see if anybody's watching. Drop something, distract, then go do it. Don't hurry up. Okay?
I had the perfect thing, but I didn't do it.
Throw something across the room while they're looking over there. Sprinkle. Or drop it.
Like,
Don't put it in a jar. Drop it.
I should have done this.
Make it into a liquid and spray like you're spraying air freshener. You know, like some hot foot powder spray or something. You gotta get creative in this day and age.
And then do that. Erase it. He's like, I'm sorry.
What, Layla?
We should have done this, like the hand sanitizer. Should have grabbed the whole bottle.
Oh, you gonna reenact it?
Yes, we should have grabbed the whole bottle. Grab the whole bottle. Watch.
Oh, okay.
You should have grabbed the whole bottle, right? Let's say, what am I saying?
Are you reliving your experience in 6D in the past?
This is an eraser.
Okay.
Oops! I'm not gonna do it, but I'm just gonna. You press that down. You press down on this. And then you go.
Yes, you should have heated inside the back of the chair.
Okay, whatever. Blasting the class.
Sasha is asleep. Everybody's asking where Sasha. Sasha's asleep.
Sasha's sleeping, you know.
Mhm.
Oh, daydreaming about toys, Christmas.
So yeah, make sure if you're gonna do something, think about think into the future of the sixth dimension. Okay, well, what if I get caught? How would I get caught? See, it's gonna lead you to ask yourself questions. Well, what if I get caught? But how would I get caught? Oh, maybe there's cameras.
But why would I get caught?
Okay, there's cameras. So now you saved yourself. Okay.
Then you have to be sneaky. You have to find a sneaky way. You can't just do it out of the blue.
You gotta be sneaky to do stuff like that. There's cameras everywhere.
You put it in your sleeve, wear a long sleeve shirt, put it in a jar in your sleeve, and just do this.
There's cameras everywhere. Like if somebody tell you they're on their way home and they're stuck in traffic, all you gotta do is go type online traffic on whatever freeway they're on, or traffic camera on this such and such live, and you will see the traffic or no traffic, and you know what's going on. You know what I'm There's cameras everywhere. Okay. So make sure you understand.
There's no cameras in here.
There's one right
Are
here.
there?
1,
Well,
2.
why do you have so many? You don't like that.
There's cameras on your phone where you know.
That is all the camera on your phone.
1111. It's 111.
Yeah, they must live somewhere different. It's
Okay.
111 here.
They're in a different time zone.
Like, they're in California. They should be in California. Aren't they 3 hours back? Which
Mhm.
means 3 hours back.
East Coast, West Coast, Central Coast,
What are we?
South Coast, Dirty South,
What coast are we?
Gulf Coast.
So I will remember you.
Oh my God! Remember the baby? Okay, so every time Layla drops something or like
No.
messes up
Oh
something,
God.
like drops a cupcake or something,
It's like I
she'll
will
start singing.
remember you.
I will remember you. Like they died. Um, and so the I was holding someone's baby the other day, and I guess their brothers and sisters do the same thing and sing that song when they drop something. And so the baby dropped the toy, and then the baby couldn't even talk yet that much. He started humming. I just cracked up. I'm like,
No one
baby.
noticed it though.
No one noticed it, but I'm like,
This
this baby started humming. I will remember you, and can't even talk because he dropped his toy.
This baby. This baby.
Because he stared and looked at it, he said, and you know who it is if you watch it. Okay. It was so sweet.
Oh, so sweet. I didn't even see it. She just told me, but I would believe it's sweet. I guess.
Okay,
How
anyway.
could that not be sweet though?
It is. You have to. It's just a weird thing to have a baby singing that when something falls and you know what it means. Because like most people, they wouldn't have known what that was. But anyway, so I'm gonna sign off. I've been on here for too long. And it's late, but thank y'all for tuning in. If y'all just tuned in, go back and watch like the first 30 minutes of this video. That's where the meat is. Like the juicy stuff is all in the first 30 minutes, and then the rest of the time I'm just talking. Ashira, do you plan to reincarnate?
Do you?
Do we?
Do you?
Do we?
Whatever.
We might.
Reincarnate? I don't know about that. I don't want to do that.
Huh?
What?
We might. I mean, why not? If you know how to get what you want, why not?
Oh, girl, listen. The hair on it.
I might be back. What should I come back as? I'm coming back as a woman. I'm not coming back as a man. I'm sorry.
Would you come back as a Rico?
I'm not. I said a woman.
So you would come back as a girl Rico?
I didn't say a dog. I'm not coming back on 2D.
I want you to come back as a dog, like Rico, like a tiny baby puppy. It would be so cute, and then I could adopt you, and then we could have a good life.
I don't. That's not a good life.
Rico is so spoiled. That is a good life.
But that's not a good life because he doesn't do anything.
But he's spoiled. Exactly. He just sits
That's
there.
not being spoiled. That's like no life.
But he's spoiled. He's spoiled and has no life.
Mhm.
Rico.
What would you come back as?
I would come back. I wouldn't come back here.
Where would you go?
I would make our new realm. Make a new realm where people can live.
And make your own universe.
Yes.
Okay.
And NASA, I will send a space message to NASA, make a portal to go to this universe.
Make a portal to go to that universe. Don't do that.
What?
They're gonna come take over. They're gonna try to take over.
Mm.
They're gonna come try to take over.
Just a special password.
They're gonna be like, we found some new territory to take over.
We'll have space aliens ready to attack our world.
The space aliens.
They'll have intergalactic space laser guns.
How about just don't tell them? Um, someone said they're coming back as royalty.
Ooh. But you see, with royalty, you can't do anything yourself.
Yeah, she said you can't do anything yourself if you're royal. Yeah.
You're basically crippled, and you want to see what it's like to do something yourself, like a normal life.
You'll be
But they
trapped in
won't
your
let her.
lifestyle.
They won't let you.
Let's see what I would come back as.
You would come back if you were anything but a human. I think you would come back as a black cat.
Yeah, but I'm not coming back as an animal. I'm coming back as a human.
What if you were to come back as a human?
Mhm. I would come back as someone who owned a lot of property and land.
I would come back as someone rich and has good ideas, like this person over here.
Then I would be. I would come back and own a lot of property and land, and
But you have to have a lot of money.
that's what I'm gonna have a lot of money if I'm coming back with a lot of property and land. Yeah, it's gonna be exclusive land though.
Would it be like Neverland?
It will be exclusive land.
It will be like always land instead of
Mhm.
Neverland.
So it will be like, oh, you can't live here unless A, B, C, and D. Okay. And that means you have to have this criteria.
Or these qualities.
And then the price and the property value would go up.
To the roof.
Yeah. Then I'd sell it and never have to work again.
You know, some people are actually
Just to be
not rich.
free to travel the world
Yeah.
and
Some people are just that rich.
live life of leisure.
Live life. Live life. You don't even have to do anything except pay bills.
Would you want to be born to a religious mother or a witch mother?
Well, it depends what kind of witch is it.
What kind of witch is it?
What kind of witch? Is it a nice witch? Is it an evil witch? Is it a cat witch?
I guess it depends on, what kind of witch they are. Like, what's that?
Yeah. But if it was a nice witch, um, I would rather be born with a witch mother because I don't really like religion that much.
You don't like religion?
Like, I don't have really a religion. I don't go by religion.
That's right, Layla.
And if you go by religion, good for you.
Yeah.
We're not trying to judge anyone here.
Yeah. Religion has its ups and downs.
You can go with religion whenever you want.
Layla has never. Well, Layla went to church school,
Yeah, but it was
but not
only,
church.
it was fun. It had a giant indoor playground. On pajama day, they served pancakes. It was nice.
Mhm.
We had science class. It was super fun.
Yeah.
And on Fridays, there's a giant candy bag, and you get to choose a candy.
Wow.
They're not just tiny candies. They're big.
Well, yeah, that's good. You went for the candy, but I teach them, logic, and if they read the Bible, they would laugh because it don't make sense. So I gave them knowledge.
Well, you have hair on one of your toes, mommy.
Where?
You don't see it?
Oh. Get it
It's
off.
off. It's off. It's off.
Yeah. So try giving your kids knowledge first, and then let them choose if they want religion or not. Because most of the time, they're not going to choose it because it doesn't make sense. Okay.
Some parents don't give them a choice. They just said, read this.
Yeah. Some parents like brainwash them and say it's true. Don't question the Bible.
It's true. Don't
And the
question.
kids are just like, okay, mommy.
Okay.
But if you give kids knowledge and then they say, wait a minute, is this right? That's not true. The world is not flat. Or how could there be light when there was no sun? Or, how did somebody make a woman out of a man real? I thought men came through the womb of a woman. If you teach them the truth first, like not real knowledge, and then they read that, there's no way they're gonna believe it. They're gonna be like, this is a fairy tale, right? This is like Shrek, right? Talking donkeys, Shrek. So they're gonna see fantasy, metaphor, and all that stuff. They're not gonna see literal. They're gonna be like
I see the Bible as a bedtime story.
a bedtime story.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, it is a bedtime story for some people, but some people live by that and take it literally and will die defending it.
Well, you really shouldn't do that, I guess.
Some people will kill for their beliefs.
Well, good for them.
Mhm.
They're proud of their beliefs.
Mhm. That's how you know something's wrong, when you have to kill people to believe you. Okay.
It's like, I'll kill you if you don't believe me. Okay.
That's how you know if you gotta threaten someone's life.
Threaten someone's life because they don't believe you.
You know it's wrong. So that's why I give them information like logic first, and then if you want to read the Bible, you just might start laughing later. What?
Was flat at one time. He would never. How could the world be flat?
They also said, Layla, that it's okay to have slaves and beat your wife.
Did you know actually beating women is illegal? Didn't you know that, guys? Well, if you don't, now you do.
Uh-huh. They also say you're supposed to, what do they say? They said a lot of bad stuff that is not appropriate for you right now.
Okay, Mommy.
Okay, Mommy. It's a death manual. It's a crime written manual that tells you 10 commandments, but then tell you to break them all at the same time. Thou shalt not kill. Then it says, do not suffer a witch to live. But then it says, do not kill. Do not commit murder.
Well, I'm confused.
I'm confused.
Just say one thing and I'll do it. Just say one thing. Say something clearly stated. Do you want me to kill this person or not?
Mhm. Anyway, that's why we don't. I had 18,000 people writing the Bible. And they was all confused.
If you want to know why there weren't any autobiographies of God or Jesus?
Layla said, do you want to know why there's no autobiography of God or Jesus?
Do you really want to know?
Why, Weedy?
I don't want to crush your heart. But to my religion, I don't mean I'm spiritual, but they were almost never real.
They don't have an autobiography.
Because they don't have an autobiography.
Darn it. Well, I guess that proves it.
And yes, way back, they could write books.
Someone should write the autobiography of God, though, right?
But that wouldn't be an autobiography. That would be a biography.
Well, somebody needs to write the biography.
It's probably just going to be a Bible.
No, it won't, because it's about other people.
Well, if you think about it, it's going to be really similar. It's going to be really similar.
To what?
The Bible.
The closest thing the autobiography of God would probably be more like the Emerald Tablets. Something like that.
Well,
Somebody said they wish they had a choice growing up.
Well,
I didn't have a choice, but not having that choice is what made me rebel and resent it even more.
But when you grow up, you can choose your own religion.
I was too logical to believe that stuff. I'm like, you really want me to believe this? What the heck? Like,
She's
are
a
you
logical.
serious? Like, I'm looking at her like, for real?
For real, what is this?
For real? You believe this? Like, I don't see this happening in 3D or in reality. I don't see this happening. You mean this kind of stuff happened thousands of years ago and doesn't happen anymore today? Why? Now that there's cameras, it doesn't happen anymore? You know, I'm like, you lying, or why are you always lying? I'm like, I'm questioning her intelligence at this point. I'm like, you believe this stuff?
What was Jesus? Was he
You
like
sure?
Hispanic?
Sure
Was
you
he white?
You sure you should be raising children and driving and stuff
You
like
sure?
that?
You good?
I'm like, okay, this doesn't make sense, but oh, whatever you say. You know, that's how I was thinking because my mind was already advanced. I was already astral traveling and seeing beings and going here and doing this, and I'm like, you want me to believe this?
She had a really weird childhood. You know?
So I'm like, no, but I'll pretend. You know, I always had my tarot cards since I was like 12 or 13. I was always reading books and stuff on the occult, and I would just hide it.
She would pay people. No, people would pay her to do readings.
In school. Yep.
She was hustling.
I was always back then, yes. I always had a business. Like, I was just a business-minded person. I would sell gum, homework, pencils, school supplies. I would do readings at lunch. I always had cash.
Yeah.
Before I was even the legal age to work, I had my own business. I had my own gum business, school supply business.
Congratulations.
Yeah. See, what I would do is I would invest in a 10-pack of gum and sell each pack for $1 when the pack only cost $2. Bam. You know, I would invest, or I'd sell each piece for 50 cents if I was, you know, really trying to get it.
Desperate.
So that's, you know, when I saw a pack of 10 packs of gum, I saw money. That's what I saw. I said, ooh.
You didn't see gum, you just saw money.
I say, ooh, gum. So people would buy gum and chew it. I'm like, I'm gonna sell it.
Well, I don't know. I like.
Then my brother got this fancy idea to go buy a dirty magazine and sell it for $20, and he got caught. I'm like, see, just like the drug dealers say, you trying to shine too much, you trying to do too much, you gotta keep it under the radar. Just stick with some gum.
Can't go.
You trying to make 20? He's like, I bet I can make more money than you. Watch. He got caught. And I was like, well, I guess that didn't work out, did it?
No.
You gotta be smart.
You must be smart, guys.
Yes. There's no quick way to success. You can't cheat your way.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
Baby.
He thought he was gonna beat me.
No, but steady wins the race.
Then he had to stay, like, he couldn't even leave the campus. They started watching out for him.
Wait, he couldn't leave school?
Well, he could after school, but we used to get there early, walk to the store that's next door in the morning and buy our stuff and then go sell it. So he thought he was being smarter than everyone else, but he got caught.
You can't do.
You can't get, like, what you got, gum? Oh, go ahead. What you got, dirty magazine? See, you should have bought something that you could get away with.
You could get away with. You could get away with gum. You could get away with pencils. You could get away.
All I got is pencils and gum.
And pencils.
See? I think men want to get it quick, and women like to get it
Take their time.
in a steady flow, a constant steady flow that's guaranteed, you know? Because people, like, a lot of men just want to hurry up and get rich quick, right? They don't want to put in the extra work, you know, going, you know, around selling each pack of gum and getting the money for it. They just want one swoop. Oh, I want to win the lottery. Oh, I want a Ferrari. Oh, I just want a high-paying job, you know. Women are more like, Okay, well, I know what it does and know what it takes to get here. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a steady income as long as I keep selling these packs of gum. And it's coming in. So sometimes you got to think on both sides, like the masculine and the feminine. He would have been better off getting a normal magazine, not a dirty magazine.
It was a normal magazine.
hmm
Something on the
All right, y'all. Enough of my life story. Layla, always telling people my business. That's all right. I already told them that before.
Yeah, you blame me, but you already tell people. Don't blame me.
hmm Okay, Layla. Thank you for tuning in the last few minutes of my video with your knowledge.
This is not the American flag.
Let me see. I can't see you. I'm blind. Oh, that's just like a little piece of it. They zoomed in on it. Yeah. Okay, so if y'all want to if y'all want to get the meat of the video, go back to the first 30 minutes and y'all get it. But we're getting ready to leave now, so I'll see y'all on the next one. If y'all want to join my dark energy group online on Facebook, it's on Facebook. Message me on Facebook. Go find my Facebook uh, link. It's like a Facebook icon on my channel page on YouTube, on the channel art. Just click on that and message me. And there is a price to get in. There's no magic in the group. There's no spell work in the group. It's strictly knowledge. Dark energy, manifesting, dimensions, stuff like that. No magic, no spells. Because the reason I did it like that is because a lot of these other magical groups and stuff like that, they argue over little things. Like, that's not how you do it. Well, I heard this, and I heard if you do a spell like this, another. We're getting the knowledge. Okay? So, the knowledge of alchemy, esoteric knowledge, occult knowledge, things like that, not spell work. Because you can go get that on your own on Google. Okay? So, thank you for tuning in. I will see y'all on the next one. And yes, if you want to know the cost, I'm sure someone in the comments know, or you could message me. Okay? I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.